Hey, we're back. We're here for some more Stormlight Archive antics. It's Cosmere antics. Issa's not happy. He's trying to sleep, but screw him, right? Uh, I almost missed. It's salty. I know we're late. I fell asleep. It's been a long work week. It's just coming to an end. But we're here. Uh, Lady B, we already have our first Uggs Shallan, so when Aldan gets here, that's going to be an interesting topic of conversation. Hey, there's another. You need a tier just for Shallan, so you didn't say where that needs to be. Is that like, are you a Shallan enjoyer, Articus, or a Shallan hater?
Apologist.
So I am joined by, of course, Mr. Alex. How are you, sir? How you doing, buddy?
Doing well, doing well. Finally met to Phoenix, so it's kind of warm here.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sitting
no
here
more
shaking
snow
my
for me.
balls off, but it's not even that cold. I just, I got the wake up shivers. When you wake up and you got to do something right away. Yeah. Oh, there's another. There's another. Man, we got some Shallan lovers in the chat. They love it. But we're also the man that is technically Mexican is here too. What's up, buddy?
Nothing much, man. I'm tired too. I wanted to take a nap before the stream, but I had kids jumping on my face, so I was like, all right, we're just gonna chug a Mountain Dew and power through it.
Yeah, well, hopefully we keep you riveted enough that the tiredness doesn't win over. I hope. I took an opportunity because Easton was down and everybody else was down, so I just closed the door. I'm like, I'll take a nap, and then alarm went off, and I said I'm not quite ready to get up, and then I almost slept through the stream. So, but we made it, right? So, but so Yanan is here too. Good to see you, Yanan. Good to see you, Salty. Who else? I saw somebody. Is it McCowan? How are you doing, McCowan? I'm at the beginning of part 4 of Oathbringer. Anyone know if the stream is going to be full spoilers for the series? We're probably going to just delve into a bunch of spoilers, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean we're talking like character arcs and stuff. We're probably going to mention what they do in book 4. Probably not going to mention like plot points in book 4 unless it's like character connected, right?
Yeah, I would think that it's sort of hard.
But yeah, you're going to get some stuff spoiled.
Yeah, so yeah, I would tread carefully. I don't know that we're gonna just like. I don't know. There's a possibility some stuff gets outright ruined if you don't like any spoilers. So I would say tread carefully. We could try and maybe preface some stuff if we're going into spoiler territory, but it's a little bit hard now. I will admit fully that I've only read at this point Rhythm of War once. I'm working towards stack of books, including Elric, right now to try and it's almost I'm about to reread Dresden, and then but got to start a Stormlight reread number 3 to try and get through Rhythm of War again, because I've only my Rhythm of War.
I've only read all of them once too, so
yeah, So we're gonna be dancing around some stuff a little bit, trying to remember some stuff together. But yeah, I guess that's a good place to start, because you haven't been on here talking about Stormlight much, man. When did you start reading Cosmere and stuff?
when it came out.
Yeah.
So I stopped. We talked about this last night.
Yeah.
But high school ruined books for me. Like growing up in elementary school, I was always reading above my reading level, like two grades back when standardized tests were a thing. And then I got to high school, and they gave me a bunch of sex books, and so I stopped reading. And then I got I was pretty much done with college, still doing Spark Notes, and someone handed me Warbreaker, and told me to read it, and then I was like, oh yeah, I forgot it. I liked books. Like I read Ender's Game in elementary school 6 times. So and then I just stopped reading because of the state of our American education system. So
I check out a video on Technically Mexican's channel about the state of schools and books. That was a great video. I know we were talking about that, but
the Daniel Green
everything
one
seemed to crumble at the same time.
So I I've pretty much read just about every Sanderson book as it comes out, with the exception of maybe his like first 5. Because I read Warbreaker, and then immediately did Mistborn and Elantris, and then I was pretty much doing them as they go.
Right. Yeah. So that's where I'm at pretty much. I think same experience as me, for the most part.
I haven't read the Dawn Treader one yet.
Dawnshard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Voyage of the Dawnshard.
Dawnshard, and have you read the secret novel one, like Sunlit Man and all that?
Yeah. I finally the one I skipped was the Arcanum Unbounded. I just went back and finished that.
Edge answer. Okay.
I finally know what the heck the magic birds are that people keep talking about at Dragonsteel and asking their nerdy questions. Like, oh, what's an AVR if you mix an AVR with a Hillimantic spike and you stick it?
So, dude, I can't. Like, I love Cosmere and I love all this stuff, but going to the 17th shard and trying to like make sense of it
is nuts.
It is a whole like you can. It's like wow, what the frick, right? It just like goes completely over my head. They are on a whole nother level on 17 shard.
Because it turns out he has an entire team of like physicists.
Yeah.
Who like tell him when his stuff doesn't, like he gives him, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Does that make sense? Okay, and they keep track of his magic system so he doesn't contradict himself.
Right. So like,
what living author has any author in history ever had that kind of like?
Well, I found it crazy because you've read Tress, right? So
yeah.
So like that whole spores thing comes from vibration of sand.
Yeah.
And I saw the science experiment that led him to make that into a thing.
Yeah, he did with
I was like, holy crap! So
it's a real phenomenon.
Yeah.
You can ride a boat on sand.
It's wild. It's freaking wild. But I think that's I don't know. I think that's part of why I love Sanderson, because he's a huge geek. So, but I can't keep track of all that stuff. I have trouble remembering my own name and my kid's name sometimes. So remembering what pigeons and shit. I think you're talking about the cheery animal, right? The
birds.
Yeah. So.
The Ghostbloods guy has a bird, and there's another guy with a bird in Stormlight, and
Moraes has the bird, right?
And now Lift has a bird because the other guy who had the bird died because Moraes killed him.
Well, so wait, no, so we're talking about this. So Moraes.
Oh, sorry.
The bird.
We said we were going to warn spoilers for book 4. Oops.
God damn it!
Already. I'm sorry.
Jesus. Well, that's a normal process.
I warned you. I said we're probably going to talk spoilers.
No, because Cheery is a different. What is Cheery? I forget what they call her. She's the Cheery is one of those creatures that freaking eats Stormlight, so it can negate Stormlight.
Oh, you're talking about Rise's thing? That's like a little dragon thing?
Yeah, Rise's
That's
thing.
not Naviar, no.
Yeah. So there's the bird, and the bird only exists because Sanderson has a bird.
Yes.
so like he has that big ass macaw, so he freaking self-inserted his macaw into the story.
The birds are part of Sixth of Dusk.
See, I need to
read that. Birds
have
different powers.
That's in Arcanium Unbound too, right?
Yeah,
Sixth of
it's
Dusk.
good. I really like that one.
Sixth of Dusk is the one with all the creepy freaking ghost monsters, right?
Nope, that is Shadows for Silence and the Force of Hell.
Those things are
which was even better than Sixth of Dusk. That one was really good.
Right, and then they come back in Sunlit Man. I know Aldan freaking wants to talk about Sunlit Man, and we're gonna have to, because Sunlit Man is. I think Sunlit Man was fantastic, but
yeah,
we're getting a little.
Well, I've been to Dragonsteel twice, and I've been to one too many panels.
Wait, so you got to Dragonsteel Con?
Yeah.
No shit.
Well, it's in Utah, so I'm.
Well, fuck, because me and Aldan were talking about trying to go next year.
I'm going every year. That's public
awesome.
outreach.
God damn.
It was fun. It was really fun. But like I go to a panel called the Advanced Realmatic Theory, where it's literally just people theory crafting on magic. I'm like, okay, I guess I should probably read
Where's,
Arcane Mechanic.
where's my notes? Like, I'm no good at school, man. What's
No,
wrong
there was this dad. So there's tons of kids there too. They have like a room just dedicated to crafts 24/7 where you
Oh,
just go and
you haven't
teach
been able to
every
read
kid to
Sunlit
make
Man
stuff.
yet? Is that what's going on, Articus? You haven't been able to read Sunlit Man? Because I was gonna say Sunlit Man is good. So
It's good. It was my favorite of the secret projects.
same. So, but
Um,
that was gonna be my other question because we're just sort of stalling around a little bit. Aldan's almost here. He said he was 10 minutes away about 10 minutes ago. So, and sorry, Alex, you can chime in whenever. I know we're sort of just being geeks right now, but what if you had to pick a favorite book / series? What would you pick?
So for me, my favorite book is Way of Kings, and my favorite series. It's probably a tie between Era 2 and Stormlight Archives.
Yeah.
Before Rhythm of War, it would have been no shit Stormlight Archives, no doubt.
Yeah.
That book sucked.
Yeah, Rhythm of War is definitely the worst of the group. I get it. Like, there's parts of it that are fine. That's why I also needed to read it again. I don't remember a ton of it. And we won't get too deep into Rhythm of War right now, but yeah,
Speak for
Rhythm of War was
yourself,
it was one of those when I finished reading it, it was like, wow, this is definitely the weakest of the group and of Stormlight, anyways, for me too. So, what about you, man?
Warbreaker, hands down.
Warbreaker. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm pissed that we're getting 2 freaking Elantris sequels before a Warbreaker sequel.
Yeah, well, it's funny because he's already got the name picked out for the freaking Warbreaker sequel, and it's just sitting there. Nightblood is just sitting there collecting dust, and it's just like,
Got mine right here.
what, your Nightblood? Yeah, there you go. I got mine. There you go. Same deal. See?
I use it to pick my teeth.
Yeah, there you go. I stab Easton with it. No, sorry. Yeah. So, wow. Okay. So Warbreaker, huh? So
Yeah, it's the best one.
you're a Vasher enjoyer.
Yep.
Okay. I can't say Vasher is fucking badass. That's. I wish there was more Vasher in Warbreaker, but
I mean, spoilers for the tier list, but he's number 1.
well, yeah, he's on there. So he's on there in his own way. So if you haven't, I guess if you don't want some spoilers, there's going to be some spoilers for the whole Stormlight Archive. But if you've read any of it, you know what we're talking about already when it comes to Mr. Vasher from Warbreaker in Stormlight Archive. I think that's one of the most interesting things about the whole thing for me is just the crossovers when you get in later.
Susaborn, Articus, yeah.
What's
the God King is Susaborn, yeah.
Sesebron, yeah. Sesebron, yeah. However, that's how the author the book on tape the Sesebron. I
I don't know how because there's the graphic audio version too.
Yeah,
I read the book first, so I always said Susaborn. It's probably it sounds silly. It's a silly name.
I've done the graphic audio for White Sand, which was sort of interesting. So I'm just going through those. I have the books, but I just find it easier to listen to them. But Frank, yeah, there's going to be spoilers. We've already screwed up a few times, so yeah, just tread lightly. There's going to be spoilers. Sometimes it's a little bit uncontrollable. Yeah, his fault.
But Vasher's not even the best character in Warbreaker. It's Lightsong.
I don't know. I don't mind Lightsong, but that's probably for another stream. I find Lightsong is a little bit of both worlds for me. I found Lightsong a tad bit annoying until he started actually coming into his own. When he started coming into his own, it's like, okay, I dig this guy, but
I loved him.
Yeah, it's one of those. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel just because we need an Elantris really badly because I don't feel like Elantris's magic system works on other planets. or it shouldn't, just with location and all that. So I would like a deeper explanation of how that magic system is supposed to work off planet. So, but yeah, there will be some spoilers.
I think what you do is you draw the sigil, and then just have like a line like pointing to the planet or something.
Wow.
Depending on how
you can
far
make
away,
rocket ships.
depending on how far away you are.
So you can power rocket ships by just drawing a circle and being like, "I'm 18 million."
Well, because it's
miles away.
connected to the planet, so they're going to do like a Davy Jones thing. You just carry around a jar of dirt with you wherever you go, and then you can do the magic system.
But that's still
Wow.
whatever.
I thought they were gonna have to find the rune for the new planet and do that. Wow, if they just have to draw a fucking 8-mile long line all the way out.
Is it
there, I'm gonna be
Stargate
so
SG-1?
annoyed.
Is it like this? We have to find the seventh symbol.
I really liked Elantris, except for that the solution was to fix the problem, I'm gonna draw a line in the dirt.
Draw a line through the middle. Yeah, I don't know. I think I like Elantris for some, like, I guess for a lot of the ideas that happen to be in there. That I don't know.
Oh, I love the
definitely
politics. It's wonderful.
Raoden's great too. I like Raoden, but yeah. So I want more Elantris, but I'm with you too. I would enjoy some more Warbreaker. So yeah. So here's the tier list. Hold on. So if there's I did a quick peruse. This is the best one I could find without making one all myself, because I can't commit that much time to it. So I think we got a good mix of people in here. If chat, oh, there he is, right there.
Tell us who we're missing. We can add him.
Chat, I'm trying to get this out of the way here. So let me get this. Get this out of the way so you can. Boom. Get out of there. Ad blocked away. So I'm going to. Let me see if I can move this over here and it'll still work. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna blow up the character list a little bit. Alden, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How you going? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. So
I didn't see any option to put in a subtitle underneath my name. How did you guys do that?
It's under. Let's see here. I think it's under
you do when you
edit.
log in.
It's too late.
Is it too late?
I just feel left out now.
Gotcha.
Is
in the
so
chat
leave and
too?
come back in, dude.
Oh,
you can leave and come back in.
Committed to it. It makes me feel special now.
Okay, well,
I'm not self-conscious about it at all.
Well, next time where you're not getting in, all right, bastard. Hey, what's up? Dude? I'm doing a lot of stuff, Nerporeal. Sorry, I didn't stop everything and say hi to you, brother. Hi, Nerporeal. You okay now?
Good I know, man.
Luis Expero, how you doing? Is it? I always mess up your name. I don't know. Carburatus. I was under the impression they were carrying essential batteries around. Well, I don't know, like they have what jars of Aeon Door, but I don't understand how that works.
The solution could be connection manipulation.
So I don't know. Maybe intertwining with other magic systems is how they're able to do it. I don't know. That's why I really, really, really want another Elantris to explain away some of these things. But Alden, how are you doing, brother? You good?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Yeah. Just
glad you made it.
Yeah,
so
have we started? Have I missed? What have I missed?
No. We have pussyfooted around just long enough that we haven't started the list yet. So I did want to. I zoomed in a little bit. So if I'm missing anybody, this is a pretty substantial list. So if there's anybody obvious I'm missing, this guy right here is the best picture I could find for Sabarial down here. I don't know if it's accurate or not, but I typed in Sabarial and that's the only picture that popped up. So if I don't think I'm missing anybody obvious, but
Lady Balefire wants to know if all of Shallan's alternates need ratings too. So
fucking no. Veil is not.
About this. We can't do that. It's gotta be Kimball.
I can't do Veil and what Radiant. I can't do it. I can't do those two. Veil pisses me off so much. So we all know Edge Dancer is the best book. I think you're taking a piss, but that's okay.
Nerdporial had a good question that I know the answer to, though. Has Sando ever written any grimdark?
Where is that? Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Has Sando ever written any grimdark?
Yeah. So the original draft of Mistborn was grimdark.
Oh, was it?
He had to completely rewrite it. Yes.
I didn't know that.
It's because it was written in a time when all of the publishers were looking for another George R. R. Martin. So, like, pretty much any meeting that you'd have with a publisher, they'd be like, "Hey, we're looking for." He's on record. He said it many times. He said most publishers would say, "Yeah, we're looking for someone like George R. R. Martin, who's not quite as sad." And he said they didn't realize it at the time, but they were looking for a Joe Abercrombie, and no one fit the bill until he came along.
But real quick, I just have to make comment. I've been told several times that I'm overthinking Aeon Dora, and maybe I am. But it says specifically in Elantris when Raoden warps to the other side of the world that it's less strong because it
creates a problem. I don't think you're overthinking it. It's stated in the book that there is a problem.
Yes, it has
based on location.
On location. So
I do think
want an explanation.
There are many ways that you could explain it away, though.
Yeah.
But it does need an explanation.
Yes. Okay.
That's
how I feel. So I'm not
are you talking about the bottles of the water?
Because we're talking about. I asked Techmex what his favorite book was, and he said Warbreaker, and then we got into how there's going to be two more Elantrises before Nightblood comes out or something like that. So, that's where I came back with. I think we're desperately in need of another Elantris because I need some explanations about.
Well, he's
Aeon
writing
Dora
that
and stuff.
Isn't he writing that up next? Isn't that after Stormlight? I think that's the next cap of the ranking.
Yeah. So he's writing. Elantris 1 and he's writing Elantris 2 and 3 in between revisions of Mistborn 8, 9, and 10.
Oh yeah, 8, 9, 10. Yeah.
The Donut Cult. Oh shit. Well, hopefully game streams are coming back so the squad can get back together. So
as soon as he's done revising Stormlight 5, which he's already on the third draft of.
Yeah.
He's writing Mistborn 8, 9, and 10 all together in one go. And then while revising those, he's going to be writing Elantris back and forth.
How you doing, Adega? Good to see you.
So he's doing the next Mistborn sequence before he's doing Elantris 2. I thought
but he's going to write all three of them before any of them are published, so that it can be like a yearly release.
Yeah, he has a whole layout on his website too of just a roadmap of how he's planning on releasing things. I haven't looked at it here lately, but the Serenity books are there's only really one book involving Serenity so far, and it's just a short story, so it's hard. I don't know.
Two now, really, isn't there? There's two, really.
Well, what, you talking about Sunlit Man?
Yeah.
I mean, it's Serenity adjacent.
Yeah, Serenity adjacent is the best way to put it. But let's not go down that because we have some people that have not. Yeah. We could probably avoid Sunlit Man spoilers, but
that's my question. Like, what's the level of spoilers that we're talking about?
We pretty much told everybody we're going for it. So so spoilers are going to be a thing. If you're afraid of spoilers, then you might want to be careful.
I haven't read Dawnshard, but feel free to spoil it because I don't really care.
It's not really much that you can. Actually, no, there is some things in there that.
There's some things, but you guys know how I go. Usually, it takes conversation to get me to remember stuff. So so it takes some coaxing for me to bring some of these events up. But yeah. So off the top of your guys' head, I doubt we're missing anybody. If we're going along and we're missing somebody, let me know, and we'll add them. But or I'll try and add them. But so I'm not going to start. We're going to move you down there. We're not starting with you. That would be bad. So any other requests before we get started? I don't want to take too long on each one, or we could be here till till tomorrow at 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. and we no, I don't think anybody wants that. So, wait, Dawnshard is that the Lopin short? He's
That's
featured heavily in Dawnshard. Yes.
I wish.
All right. So
I thought it was about the girl with the dragon.
It is the best.
it is, but
Oh.
Lopin is heavily featured in it.
Okay.
Yeah, he is the, I would say, co-star to Risen. I think
it's
that's fair to say.
It's a disability bonding. Is that what the book
Well,
is?
he's got his arm grew back, bro. I mean, come on.
It's predominantly Lopin trying to drag Risen to readability. Is that book?
Yeah, I think that's probably right. Yeah.
It's pretty
So,
boring, man.
let's
Like,
see
you
here.
learn some cool shit, some Cosmere stuff. You learn some cool Cosmere stuff.
Well, in Dawnshard, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
I'm still confused at what the hell a Dawnshard is, but you know.
Right.
The Dawn Shards are the magical commands that God used to create the universe.
Sure.
Yeah.
What? Okay. Yeah. Need more explanation. Like
I've been
your
to
book
way
is-
too many panels at Dragonsteel.
Look,
okay?
There's a
Consider what
book
happens
called Dawnshard, and you come out of it
Yeah.
no better off than you went in it knowing
You
what a
come out
Dawnshard
worse.
is.
That explanation you gave is correct, but like it makes no sense.
It's like, okay, and how does that benefit anybody? It's like, okay.
Well, it makes it so you can't punch people.
okay,
Look,
sweet. And
guys,
you can't die
alright,
either, right?
Sanderson read Harry Potter and thought, you know, it would be awesome if we made up a completely new magic system that didn't have anything to do with anything previously in my last book. And he went, that's a
They're
banging idea.
They're
No, he
Horcruxes.
did it
Is that what we're
twice because
saying?
he made up Aethys as well.
Wait, Dawnshards are
Yeah,
Horcruxes? Is that what we're the equivalent? Maybe.
For the sake of the
They're the
literature,
tools of
yes, they're
creation.
functionally Horcruxes.
Okay, cool.
But anyway, let's
All
write
right,
some
so-
fucking characters, boys.
All right, so let's
They
just
are
we'll start. We
Aiden
can start.
Alcium's
What?
tools.
Wait, say it again. I talked right
They are
over. you.
Aiden Alcium's tools.
Okay.
That's what the Dawn Shards.
Hammer and knife. Okay. Parents.
knife.
No, I'm not going to go there. Okay. So let's go ahead and start with Elhokar. Does anybody have any strong feelings? In the lowest, I didn't really have a sassy name for the lowest rung, so I just put Chuldung. I know everybody wants to put Shallan. It's not happening because
Not everyone.
See,
Yeah,
it's gonna start a fight, and I'm not prepared for that right now. So, Elhokar, I
I'm
sort
gonna
of,
say D.
I don't know how you guys feel about Elhokar, but I think sort of C or D is where I'm landing, but I'm just gonna put him sort of at the C for now. See what you guys feel.
I think that Elhokar perfectly served his purpose, and he's an adequate C.
Alex,
Fairly
you-
mediocre for, sort of consistency and
Yeah.
sort of a D for enjoyability. So
I love that
D
he's
for
dead.
me.
I love that he's dead too, just out of reach of not being dead. That's the best part about Elhokar was it's just like, dude, you just couldn't say it fast enough, and you're a dead guy. But also, I think Elhokar elevated Moash to a new level.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
So I think that's one of the things that we can credit Elhokar for, him being such a bad piece of shit, improving Moash.
Right. I mean, he's kind of like I wouldn't compare him to Joffrey, but he serves a similar purpose in that like his character exists to make you frustrated on purpose.
And he does that well, doesn't he?
Because
He's just a
that's
shit kid.
because it's important for the story, right? Like he's obviously not as despicable as Joffrey, but does that make him a bad character? Like Joffrey is an amazing character
Well,
because you're supposed to hate him, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're sort of going a little bit on how much we like them and how shitty a character are. So
Yeah.
I feel like C is a good place because, like,
I think it's perfect.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think C is right where he belongs. So
Well, who else is going to be? Oh, he's going to get bumped. He's my.
we'll
prediction
bump
for
him
the
around.
future.
We'll bump him. We'll move stuff all over the place as we're
My
going.
prediction
So
for the future is that he'll end up in D.
probably you might be right, or low C. I mean, he could be at the very tail end of C. But yeah, we'll be moving stuff around as we go. So, High Lord Amaram. How do you
A.
guys feel
I didn't even
about
look.
High Lord?
I said
Lord
A
Amaram.
before I looked where you put him.
Well,
I'm
I
gonna
have him
say-
in A right now, so I
I
put
would
him in
vote-
A just from a knee jerk reaction. How are we feeling about Amaram being as useful the scumbag and foil to, well, not foil, but main protagonist for Kaladin for a while.
He's not a foil for Kaladin. He's a foil for Dalinar.
Well, sort of for both. I mean, there. Kaladin has deep connections to Amram too.
Yeah, but he's not a foil. The foil
Well, yeah.
is
Foil was
Dalinar
really-
is the rough but good guy. Amaram is the polished but bad guy.
Shit, he's a shit.
Yeah.
I guess for
Isn't
me,
isn't
Amaram.
Sadeas Dalinar's foil?
Yeah, I'd give Sadeas an A before Amaram, just quietly.
Well, I just plopped him there. I'm more than good to put him in B or if you really guys didn't like. I don't think he's a C by any means, but I mean,
I'm gonna say something. I think Amaram may be in the top tier of Sanderson's characters for me. So
I think he's great. That's why I plopped him in A. I think Amaram's great. I mean, you hate him.
Love Amaram so much. He fucking sucks.
Well,
that's why I love him.
He's perfect at his role.
Right.
Yeah, he's well characterized. True.
I think he's A tier. He's not as good as some of the other villains. So
yeah, I think he plays his
he's
part well. It's not like A because he's the most likable character. It's A because he's a great villain, pretending to be a good guy sort of thing. I
just never liked the thing that one of the problems I've got with both bring up as a general rule. I just didn't like the way that was done with Amaram. Maybe that puts me unpopular opinion. That's fine.
Oh, you didn't like the whole
didn't like the yelling thing. I just didn't like it. Don't know why. But like I'm rereading at the moment, so I'm thinking that.
Because I actually
I loved the rematch. Right? I guess it wasn't a rematch.
I actually quite enjoyed what they did with Amaram and the whole oh god, why can't I the whole thrill thing with him and him becoming this crystallized beast. So I enjoyed Amaram quite a bit. So I mean, I
would have just preferred it. Honestly, like I think as a character, like I've always liked him. This is maybe why I'm like, yeah, he sucks, whatever. I liked him being this like honorable sleaze bag that was all for show and for nothing. And I think I just never really liked the fact that he went out like he did. I would have liked to have him just be there. I would have liked to have him remain as like a leader of one of the secret societies or whatever, working behind the scenes, rather than a big finale with the crystals and turning him into the big monster and that sort of stuff. I thought that was a poor choice, but that's just my opinion.
I get it.
I disagree with literally every word of that.
Ooh.
Amaram's exterior reflecting the monster that he is inside, I thought was sort of a symbolic finish for him.
I like the Maraise thing in the background, and I would have liked a bit of juxtaposition with Amaram moving to some kind of a role like that for the other group, for the Sons of Honor or whatever. Doing a similar thing once he'd been found out and exposed and that sort of shit, rather than just another.
Well, I mean, is there not a point where there's too many? Sorry, go ahead, Alex.
Well, a combination of what Steve is saying, that at some point we just have too many of these fuckers running around, and I'm bored of the Sons of Honor in general. I feel like I'm watching Marvel shit, and every time that something happens, we have to bait the next thing.
That's what his ending was some more Marvel shit, in my opinion. That's kind of why I don't really rate it, to be honest.
Okay, I guess when I say Marvel shit, I don't mean, sort of him turning into a monster and fighting the big bad at the end. I mean the constant hinting at future projects and sort of,
hook.
This guy is connected to this thing, and this thing.
Setting the hook for future events, stuff. So
yeah, fair enough.
Because I was sort of just glad that somebody was taken off the board. I felt like it was a natural place to get him off. Yeah. There's plenty of, and then you have fucking, you have the not the Radiant, the freaking, for Sons of Honor, oh god, why can't I remember? Kalak shows up, so like, I felt like he was a natural replacement for Amaram when it came to the Sons of Honor, but, yeah. So, and I did want to say real quick because I skipped over it. I think that's part of what made Elhokar's death really impactful was that was supposed to be his change, like him changing and in his maybe potentially becoming a better man / king, and it was snuffed out by Moash real quickly. So yeah, so I can't. She's gonna go down a little bit. We can't do that right now. All right, so I think we're good to go on to we can go to Renarin. Yeah, everybody go with that. Let's see here. Anybody have any feelings about Renarin before I drop him? Because I sort of
he's a waste of fucking time at this point.
I'll completely agree with Alex on that.
D. Okay. Because I'm sort of at the point where it's like I feel like all right. So
Renarin is somehow some more edgelord than Kaladin.
Yeah, and I like the whole thing with him going on with Relaine and their spren being like
I hate that shit.
It's
That's
like
I guess that is probably a C.
So we have no actual Truth Watchers. All the Truth Watchers have corrupted spren. What the hell does that mean even? So corrupted. What does having a corrupted spren mean? Like I feel like that storyline needs to go somewhere. Otherwise, it's just like Alex just said. I feel like it's another thing. It's just like. Can we just like
if
we don't even know what Truth Watchers
there's a reason
really
behind it and it turns out to be awesome, like great. But
yeah,
so far it does kind of just feel like another drop in the bucket. Where you're like, is this just like a world building season, or is this on purpose? You know,
yeah,
is this for character growth? I don't know.
There's been 4,000 pages of edging, and I don't mean that unironically. That is literally there's been 4,000 pages of Renarin not doing anything. Okay,
Yeah.
Shit or get off the pot.
Well, the one time he like just screwed everyone over.
Yes.
Which one? There's several of them, but I liked Renarin and Way of Kings, just sort of like, and then just the you know, if you're paying attention, you know that he's he's got his spren there, and it's like, oh, okay, so some of this shit makes sense, right? But then when you get into
his hate's better, to be honest, and I still hate him, but yeah.
No, I don't disagree with you, even, but it's one of those, just like, I don't know, this might be a hot take, but it's like it's more of like Sanderson dabbling into freaking people with mental disabilities shit, and it's like
it's the one that's the one too many, I reckon.
Right, and it's just like the disability shit is hitting Kaladin, and it's like, please stop touching my Kaladin. You know, that was the biggest problem I had with Rhythm of War, was just like, stop touching my Kaladin. Can I have my old Kaladin back? Salty, thank you for the $1.49 heart. Is that a beer? No, popcorn super sticker. Thanks, buddy. So I just like Renarin is sort of like, I'm at the point, it's like piss or get off the pot. You know, can we, you know, now it's like Relaine I think Relaine is more interesting than Renarin.
Great.
But like now they're both Truth Watchers, and are they though, or aren't they? And it's like, and I think you're right, TechMex. If something happens with it, great.
But Relaine is the Parshendi, right?
Yeah, Relaine is the Parshendi Truth Watcher. Shen, Bridgeforce Shen.
Way more interesting than Renarin.
Yeah. So I just Renarin just something needs to happen, because Jasnah could have killed him and everything would have been fine.
Like, he could still have some amazing payoff in book 5, and my opinion might completely change. But for right now, it's I don't know if it's going to go anywhere good.
Right.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what
with you.
too. Something extraordinary has to happen for me to not think he's a D tier piece.
There is a phenomenal video to be made, and maybe I'm going to do it. That is Sanderson having an entire team of mental health experts around him is deeply damaging to his ability to write these characters.
To write his own story. Yeah.
He's kind of handcuffed by it, because he wants to be faithful to the disease. He wants to represent them well. But the problem, his intentions are good.
Yeah, they are.
Right? He wants to, like, hey, dive into these mental illnesses and make sure that he's portraying them how they're portrayed. But the problem is, if you're getting your advice from the people with mental illnesses,
can't just write it for those people.
Bless you.
You got to talk to some psychiatrists too.
Yeah,
you know, like
it's
Alex, finish your thought.
It's even worse than that. You can't have the American Psychiatric Association is so broken that getting advice from them on mental health conditions is actually damaging. It actually leads to worse representation because of how politicized it's gotten.
Yeah.
Reading Kaladin's depression in Rhythm of War is not the kind of depression that you would get from a veteran on the battlefield.
No.
It is the sort of depression that middle-aged women get when they don't have kids. So he would be better off not
there's different kinds of
consulting the
depression
experts at all. Yes.
Right. There's and it's not the PTSD. It's the it's the kind of depression that comes from lack of purpose, which is not what he has. Nothing but purpose.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
That's the mismatch with Cal. But we're not talking about Cal. You're right, Alex. He's spot on.
Not that, yeah. Kaladin. We'll see. Kaladin could be a long conversation. We'll see. But I think we're probably all on the same page with Kaladin because. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
I think we all hate that. Rhythm of War, Cal can probably get.
Yeah, I think
we'll talk more about this when we get to Kaladin, and trust me, we're gonna get to it, man.
Yeah. There's lots to unpack with Kaladin, but we'll get there. That's why I moved him down
there
the
were
list.
parts of it that were good. Like I think the moment where, spoilers, where he goes off the tower.
Well, the end.
After his dad, when he that struggle was phenomenal, but the moping around.
Well, it takes it. So hold on. So we're gonna get there. It takes losing Teft to fucking snap him out of it.
Yeah,
and that pisses me off.
So there are parts of it that are still very good and very accurate, and parts that aren't.
Yes, but it takes losing Teft, who is an awesome character, to snap him out of it and to bring him back onto the board, and it drives me crazy that with all this shit about protecting and all that, he just we'll get to it, but I have. There's definitely some good Kaladin in Rhythm of War, but we'll get there. I don't want to put the cart before the horse. So let's go. So Renarin is a firm D, I think. So we're on to Dalinar. I don't know if you guys have any other.
Next.
Yeah, I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any discussing Dalinar as S tier. Future vessel of honor himself, in my opinion. I think he is.
You reckon? I'm not so sure about that.
I think he will. I think by the end of.
You reckon he's going to be the vessel of honor?
I think he is going to be a reincarnation of honor by the time the series is over. Yeah, I don't know about 5, but. I think he will. I think Dalinar will become honor. Yes.
I think he was that space Roshar guy on that friggin' the next 6 of the Dust.
The spaceship. Yeah, we talked about that before.
Yeah, we did. That's what, I reckon. I'm convinced that's Dalinar, which means that he can't be that.
Well, I thought we talked about that his description.
I thought the
didn't
spaceship
match.
was from like Elantris, but
that was my understanding as well. But
it was either the way it was portrayed. I thought it was either Elantrians or people
Scandrels.
No, there was Scadrians that were there, but the dude in the shard plate in space with the tubes and shit.
Oh, it said he had a shard plate. I'll have to reread the end of that book then.
That was a Roshar. That was
they call him a Rosharian too, don't they? I don't know.
The key to unlock the arc thing was Scadrian.
I think that they're setting it up too much. Him being the opposite of Odium, the whole series. I
don't think it would be satisfying if he like has to fall from grace, you know.
Well, I think he's just going to elevate. I think he's just going to, he's already had his fall from grace. Now he's just becoming more, right?
Yeah, exactly. So he's already had it. So it's not. Yeah. It's regressive. So
I think he's just becoming more and more honorable, and the more honorable he becomes, the more he's preparing himself to become honor. Is just my take. I think he's eventually going to ascend and become.
I'm there with you.
So I'm going to make a pitch that Dalinar is an A.
An A, okay.
Not an S tier.
My argument is that in order for a character to be S tier, they either need to be a dynamic character that is both incredibly entertaining and also a sort of thought-provoking thesis piece on the main theme of the character. And Dalinar is not that. or they need to be a static character whose basically entire entity is defined by the one characteristic that sort of embodies them. And I don't think Dalinar is that either. I think Dalinar is a very entertaining character, but I don't believe that he's an S tier character on the basis of sort of a transformative, thought-provoking piece.
I think he's pretty thought-provoking.
I think whatever you had as your second option there, I think he does embody for this story, that particular theme.
Dude,
theme of honorable action.
He opened a portal between three worlds. S. No, okay.
It's got particularity. That's it. Done.
No, I get what you're saying.
How is his
what
repentant bloodlust and remorse and desire for repentance and a greater good? How is that not thought-provoking?
I guess my first comment, I didn't think it was that deep, but also the second issue being that it was caused by a foreign entity that was making him the way that he was, and when the foreign entity was removed, I know he chose it.
Well, no, but that's one of those things that feeds off of what you want.
I get it. I
think it's interesting. So, Del, I know what you're saying, Alex, but like, I've always thought it's really interesting that if you could have that option as someone who really like fucked shit up, like proper in life, and if you had that option of like, I could just completely remove this set of memories or whatever, and I'm like, what type of a person would I be at the end of that if I could remove this chunk? Would I become a better person? Because of without that or whatever, and is that something that's possible? That is thought provoking, man. And I guess for Dalinar as a character, like to become the man that he has become so far, I don't know whether it would go that way in reality, right? I'm not sure whether that would actually work.
And that's fair, but I guess the weird part of it is that is, to me, his loss of memories and everything to do with his wife is it's distinctive and almost separate from sort of the main thrust of his character, which is the thrill and the change from the Blackthorn to Dalinar Kholin. Like
that's
to me,
how
it almost
changed.
seems.
But for me, it's just like I hear you, but for me, like just for me, my judging on some of this list is just my overall enjoyment from reading their sections of these books.
Perfectly fair.
And Dalinar, just like there's not a Dalinar section that I really dislike for the most part.
It's probably why book 4 wasn't as strong, because there was no Dalinar in it.
Yeah,
not enough.
But I mean, think about this: Dalinar presents just timeless, age-old, theological questions like, "Is it okay to bang my sister-in-law?"
Well, the resounding answer is a yes.
How is that not thought-provoking?
Yeah.
I mean, depending on which book you subscribe to, some would argue that it's not only acceptable but mandatory.
So real quick, because say his name again, because it's Carbaratus. Yeah.
Carbaratus, yes.
Carbaratus. Sorry. So if I had to guess, Alex's. So I'm gonna leave him there now, just with the with the maybe if we start building up S, Dalinar may go down a little bit. No. That was cool. I think that was a good conversation. But I think
but I want to know. I want to know from Alex Green if Dalinar is not S.
No, I'm gonna bring you his S. I think his S is gonna be that guy right there.
It is not. I'm going to say the closest thing Brandon Sanderson has to an S character is Wayne.
Shallan, yes, I know. I knew you were going to come out, Alex.
I knew you were going to come out. Even Wayne is not an S tier character.
I'd say book 4 Wayne is an S tier. I wouldn't say book 1 is.
So I guess when I look at it from the entire 1 through 4. I agree with you.
I think by the end he got there. Yeah,
we made a sharp right turn into era 2, so let's.
Okay.
Which is fine by me, but yeah. But so I'm gonna leave Dalinar there, and then if we end up talking through it a little bit more, and he goes down, But But for now, I'm liking Dalinar cozy at S at least. It's my list, so stuff it.
Well, I think it's three. I think it's 3v1. So we all agreed on S.
Yeah. But to answer Carb's question, though, my response would be, who is an S tier character? Randall Thor is an S tier character.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
See, but Matt's better.
No one's gonna disagree.
Matt's the better character.
Disagrees.
What are you on?
Matt is the more entertaining character. Of the three boys, Matt is the least.
Okay,
argument for
Randall
an S
Thor
tier
is
character.
thought provoking. Oh, sure, fine.
Oh my god, I love it.
It's
All
not
right.
a tier that covers.
Okay, all right. We need to pause this tier list and pull up a Wheel of Time tier list before we can continue.
and an Era 2 tier list too. Oh my god, I'm gonna have 3 tier lists going at the same time.
Okay, the real question: how do we feel about what are our thoughts on? Oh, why did I just space on her name? I was gonna find it. Never mind. Move on.
All right.
Very
So
good.
what are we?
So-
What's our criteria for these rankings? Just out of curiosity, like, is it like for where we're placing these characters? What's the criteria? Like,
Well, I mean, it's basically like I mean,
Let's
whatever we
clarify
want
this.
it to be. I mean, part my criteria is basically just enjoyment, and just enjoyment that I have from reading them, and then just I guess actions that make sense. Does their storyline make sense? What are they doing in the story? Just sort of an amalgamation of everything. That's why I don't mind moving stuff around so much, right? Is because we all have different ideas of what character, what this, I didn't really put a stringent code of what, do we like this guy the best or whatever, right? It's more just like, just
Don't enjoy
overall feeling about, overall enjoyment in the book and reading him and all that stuff. So
for me, my criteria is I generally want a strong bell curve. And then a character can be bumped from A to S if, like I said, there is a sort of an earth-shattering thematic epiphany or such strong characterization from a static character that I think it's truly a level above sort of anything that we really see. I don't know if that's a fair approach to this.
I reckon Adolin can't be anything higher than a B, man, and the reason
Adolin can't be anything higher than a B.
He would be if he was in the story more, but I don't get enough points of view from him. I don't reckon.
I was about to say the same thing. I was about to say B, but then I remembered that Adolin is the best part of Book 4.
Yeah,
Yes.
but that
And his approach and the way that he treats Kaladin, it's like that completely moved him up a tier in my mind.
Well, his whole storyline with Maya and him starting to do something, on the road to reviving a dead Spren and all that stuff, and then just his
that shit is cool.
and then
He's
the epic scene
Hands
where
down,
he
the best part of
puts
Book 4.
himself in jail in Way of Kings
That's
and
still one
just-
of my favorite parts of the whole series, man.
So
When Cal
I
comes
don't know. I don't know. I have trouble putting. I mean, if you guys really think he needs to go down to B, I will. But I have trouble.
That's what I thought
thinking that.
initially, but I think he belongs in A.
I'm actually very comfortable with Adolin as an A.
And I think just right there, I think he's above Amram too. But I put him. If you guys want him
That's
below Amram, I can do that too. But I like
think
Adolin a lot.
I think he's a
Adolin-
great character. I think he's a great character. I think it's awesome to have just like a good dude in a story. He's just a good bloke. That's what he is, and I love
think
that.
I
That's so
think he's
rare.
been the most consistent guy that he hasn't really changed that much. He's just
changed a
trying to
little.
do the right thing, and he's an overall good dude trying to do right by everybody. And
I just don't think he's in
You know what?
He starts
Adolin
off
is
a
an
little
A-tier
spoiled,
character.
but he matures pretty quickly.
See, I
Adolin
don't
is
know
an
that he-
A-tier character because when something needed to be done about Sadeas, he fucking
He did it.
fucking nutted up and did it, bro. Right?
I-
Yeah.
I
That
concur
may
with
be the
that.
best argument that I have for Adolin
The A.
was when Dalinar was running around being a fucking pussy, not doing what needed to be done. Adolin did it.
Yep.
I
No,
mean,
he
he
convinced
also
Alex.
has his 4v1 duel in book 1 or 2, whatever that one
Yeah,
was.
book 2, but that wasn't really 4v1.
I don't know. I always felt like Adolin. I don't want to spend too much because we're all in agreement, but I feel like I always felt like Adolin was a little bit misunderstood. Like, I know a lot of people call him spoiled, but I think that was just sort of
No, he's
point
just
of
real
view
nice.
from Kaladin thinking he's spoiled. I never
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
saw
Yeah,
it as
it's
spoiled.
very much the unreliable narrator,
Yeah.
in that Kaladin and Shallan, who are both
Yeah,
the
they're
characters
super
that we get
prejudiced.
his POV from,
Yeah.
come in with the bias against him.
Yeah, and I never really saw him. He was just I don't know, like MVP of the soccer team, right? Captain of the football team, the reliable guy. The I don't know. I've
He's a-
and I feel like
He's a
he gets better
Chad
with
with
every
a heart
story.
of gold.
Yeah, there you go. Boom, love it. That's a good
And
description.
he sorts out the crazy bitch thing.
I was
What's
gonna
that?
say, and fell on a grenade for all of us. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Exactly.
All right.
Articus is correct. Adolin's biggest flaw is his choice in women, and Salty
Oi.
Traveling C is also correct. Samwise Gamgee, absolute S tier.
True. That's true.
That's-
All right, so on to Jasnah.
Yeah, so Jasnah's interesting, isn't she? She's interesting. I love Jasnah, but I loved her more before everyone else decided that she had to be like the queen of the fucking world.
She's
That's-
progressively become less interesting.
Yes.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, I sort of want to put her here.
I'd say C.
I'd say C too. Which is
Like
a
I think
tragedy.
Alex said D, but I mean like low. I think
Okay,
lower C
okay.
just because she
So
should be dead. Like
Better than
honest-
Alicami. She's
So
ahead of Alicami.
there is a scene that I need feedback on. In Way of Kings, when she and Shallan go into the city, and Jasnah just turns into the fucking Punisher,
Yes,
and,
right.
and just wipes
Kills.
those dudes.
Mercs those motherfuckers. Yep.
Was that Sanderson, like, making commentary that the world would be better if we just boofed criminals? Or was that, like, him just trying to show that Jasnah is weird? Because if it's the former-
that was Sanderson cleaning up the streets of San Francisco.
Okay, because if that's,
Well,
if that's
I think
the-
that parallels like her atheism. She's like, I don't believe in any gods. I'm fixing the world myself.
I know, and I guess that's the one of the worst things
She
against her.
needs
She's
the
the
naive treatment.
she's the embodiment of the kind of the cringe atheist, and I also find her to be another victim of the representation thing of guys. She's asexual, and the some of the commentary around her to be kind of annoying. I don't.
That's what
there's-
annoys me.
There's something to like about Jasnah, and there's things to be annoyed about Jasnah.
Yeah.
I think a C is probably a
I think it's
fair
the right
rating
spot.
here.
I feel like it's another one of those. It's like, can we get on with it? Like let's.
Yeah.
She's
She's-
like just
He's
let's
queen
just-
now. Next book's going to be interesting.
And it's like
The weird
just-
stuff in book 4 about her, like, oh, she's still like vocally atheistic when she's literally met actual gods.
Yeah.
like-
Well,
I understand, like,
But from
Yeah,
her
you don't
perspective, they're not
believe
really
that they're
gods, right? So
de-
she's not wrong.
deific. No, what's the word?
well, she's about to sleep with
Deific is
Hoid,
correct.
who's basically a god. So
Already slept
Oh, I
before.
forgot about that.
I
Yeah.
love that. Everyone hates it, but I love it.
she's about
It's
to
all
get
like
it on with a
everyone-
god,
everybody
and yeah. So
All-
I don't
all
mind that so
people-
much, but like I think Jasnah's most interesting stuff is the cold open of Rhythm. It's a Rhythm War where they get her view of the events of the assassin in white,
Yeah, Gavilar's face.
Gavilar's assassination. I felt like that was some of the most more. No, Navani is Rhythm War, right?
Yeah,
Jasnah's Oathbreaker, right?
Yeah, what does she do during the epilogue?
Man, Yanin is just crushing it in the comments.
She's basically just oh god, I forget. I just found it more interesting because it just her point of view of what was she doing?
I don't remember.
Yes, no. She was organizing assassins and stuff. She was like, she was thinking.
She
about
was
it,
trying. Yeah, she was busy trying to galvanize his position.
She
Haha,
noticed
galvanize.
Seth. She noticed Seth being there that should have out of place. Shouldn't have been there.
Oh, so you're talking about this? Jasnah is pseudo intellectual, annoying,
No, she's a proper selection.
and a progressive liberal shit. Okay, she a atheist with no moral compass. She opposes the fake
Espouses.
the fake virtue of subjective morality. Jasnah talking down to about Kaladin just turned me out. Yeah, that too. Nobody talks. Nobody
Jasnah
puts
just
baby
made
in a corner.
Jasnah
Right.
just made a phenomenal case for knocking her down to a D.
No, because if she didn't
I thi-
elicit that response from someone, she wouldn't be a C.
I look at Jasnah and I look at Renarin and I go, C is fine.
Yeah.
That's fair. She has more redeeming qualities than Renarin.
All right, so on to Mr. Hoid.
Dude, Hoid is S tier. Fuck off. No one can
D.
disagree with that. D.
G. Oh my god. Oh, hold on.
I
Wow,
like
that sounds like a big difference of
We're
opinion.
talking about Hoid on Roshar. Hoid on Roshar is one of the best parts about the first book.
Well, so Hoid / Wit, fucking with
Wit, right.
Elokar and
That's
Gavilar.
true. See, I
It's
have
one of the
rhythm.
best things about the book.
That's.
And then you have the whole
the
the fleet story. I thought was really good with Kaladin.
Stories
I-
are amazing. I don't care what anyone says. Those stories.
Oh,
they're all-
the wall story was cringe.
I think the biggest problem that with Hoid's character is you have no idea what his motivations are. So like his presence is always entertaining, but it's kind of like this like inaction of like, yeah, but why is he here? Like, why does he care about this stuff? And it's Sanderson holding on to a few too many secrets that hopefully he's going to reveal at some point.
Well, and here's the thing that did also
he's
he just
bang
got
the claim.
completely owned by fucking Odivarian. Odium, what is the like
Taravangian.
Taravangian Odium fucking just
Taravangian.
completely outsmarted him instantly, and it's just like he lost his copper mind, and now it's like, are we gonna like, are we ever gonna know now because he lost his copper mind?
That's going to cause
So-
a massive.
What's
like
that?
from all I know from what I outside of Stormlight, it sounds like his only
fine.
goals are to just get more powers and travel the world and become more powerful. But why? Like
Yeah, I don't know if it's to reunite
it's
Adolin.
entertaining. It's always entertaining. It's always interesting. But
Well,
who
because
cares? Like I don't. I need to
like,
know.
what's the
why
end
it's
game, right?
important.
Is he trying to reform Adolnauseum? What is he doing, right? Is he just trying to? Why is he?
Because without the explanation, it comes off as selfish.
Well,
which
because
is not an
we know
S tier.
he has. So we know he has a bunch of breath now. We know he is what? He's a light weaver. So he's a
And
light weaver. He
He
has a
can do
bunch of
Elantris.
breath. He can
he's-
sand. He does have sand mastery capabilities,
He's an Elantrian.
and he's a coin shot. I think he's a
Yeah.
coin shot, right? Is he coin
Yeah,
shot?
he's
Or?
done-
That's my
No,
understanding.
he didn't. No, he's a full Mistborn.
it's a
Is he full
Mistborn, bro.
Yeah, he grabbed
Full
the balls
It's
in
still rising.
Secret History.
That's right. That's right. So he's so
The,
so he's full Mistborn. He's got a whole bunch of breath.
Whatever the metal was
He's a
called.
light weaver. Which, sorry, light weaver. You sort of. Sorry about that. Of all the orders to get,
That suits
sorry,
him.
Lightweaver,
That
but,
suits him, but
but it does suit him, yeah. And plus, he's got all the other powers, right? So Lightweaver would be good for him, considering, you
Carb
know.
makes a good point there.
Which one? New Odium taking his cover mind definitely felt a bit like a Worf moment.
Yeah.
Somebody fill me in. Worf moment.
So in Star Trek, everybody acted like Worf was a badass, which he was. But the problem was that any time that the show needed to prove that a new entity was a threat to the ship, they would end up beating up Worf.
Okay.
So eventually, Worf.
So
just
it made
ended up
Worf
getting-
look like a wimp.
Yes.
Okay, so it's like, oh, Worf is the toughest. So Bob, the world breaker, has come on the scene. He has to beat up Worf to show how tough he is.
Yeah.
Yes. Just every
It's
episode.
not about tough, but this is different. It's not about
I do
toughness.
not like-
It's about-
so
we
that
haven't
was-
seen him we haven't seen
so-
him be outsmarted.
So that's also the problem I have. This is more of a Rhythm of War problem than a Hoid issue. But I don't like that. It's Ray's, right, or Odium, whatever you want to call him, was just outmaneuvered so epically after being like forever old, like in planning, and he just got beat.
Yeah.
I would have
I
Hoyt
like
as a
it.
C, but I think a lot of what people like about Hoyt is potential, and it
Yeah.
hasn't been realized yet. And
Yeah.
I think people give him credit for potential that he, All potential means is that it hasn't happened yet.
So I'm sort
I
of
think
good
B's
with him
fine.
at a B, like for now. Anyway, I know. Aldan said S, but I think what are we?
I'll
Are
have
we?
him in there. I love
What's
him
that?
I love him on Roshar. It's the best. Okay, so as a Cosmere nut, you read all these books over bloody decades. You get a little bit of Hoid here, a little bit of Hoid there. Who the fuck's Hoid? Blah blah. And then you get to Roshar, and he's like front and square. It's rad. I love it. That's why Hoid on Roshar is S tier for me for that reason alone. Plus, he fucked Jasnah. Good on him.
What do you guys think? I mean, I could move him down right there.
My argument is that Hoid on Roshar has been a consistent on a downslope the entire time. He's never been more entertaining
Hey, that.
than he was as Wid
Way
in the
Kings.
first book.
Yep.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I'll leave him in the B for now. We can circle back if we need to. So, all right. So we got Toral Sadeas.
B.
I love Sadeas as a character, man. Sadeas is an A. See, Sadeas is like a better character than Amaram for me. That's why I was like, how can you put him in A? But that's just me personally.
I'm not sure. Sadeas gets bitched around by his wife a lot, and
He's such a dog, though. Like, he's a great rat.
Yeah, but when it kind of felt like that was his kink, though. You know?
Yeah.
Like he liked a little bit of roughness.
yeah,
I love him.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sort of I don't know. I feel like I like him better than Amaram too.
I like him better than Amaram.
See, I got the opposite.
I'm tempted
like
to say
Amaram
S,
better.
but I don't think you guys like him that much.
Not an S tier character.
No, I don't think he's S. I'd put him here or here.
He's not better than Adolin.
Okay. Talk
better than
me.
I wish we had some more. The problem, the reason I almost it's just we lose him so early on that just like, but I mean I feel like he's just.
But the brightest fires.
But then you have the whole fucking tower thing where he just fucking he does the villain trope where you've fallen into my trap. Bye. And then just goes into town gloating, and then they come back, and it's like, oh well, fuck, they're alive.
I don't know. His betrayal moment in Way of Kings is just the best part of the whole series.
It is. I just wish it's very entertaining. It's just one of those like he left. I guess there's no reason for him to believe that there's any way they can get him out.
So scummy though, because like he would have also benefited from not leaving.
Well, and then the whole thing pushing Adolin to freaking kill him, right? He just sends straight up and says, "I will fucking destroy Dalinar. I don't give a fuck what you're gonna."
Well, because he thought he was untouchable. He was like,
yes.
"Look, I've beaten you so badly. There's nothing you can do about it." Except he wasn't counting on Adolin
Dalinar's
to not have honor.
Lucky. Yeah,
like his dad.
Dalinar keeps getting lucky. I keep outmaneuvering your ass. You guys, I don't know.
It's the perfect irony for me. He was destroyed by his own hubris because he overestimated Adolin and didn't realize that Adolin was a
as a
bitch.
person.
That Adolin actually did have that dog in him, like his dad.
Yeah.
did.
Yeah,
I think he's a perfect villain. I think he's S tier, and you guys are freaking nuts.
See,
it's not S.
The problem that I have is what does Sadeas and Amaram are in many ways so similar that I have a hard time differentiating them. They're both the scummy aristocratic officer.
Amaram goes to bed at night and dreams about being Sadeas.
Yeah, no. So Amaram is more a man of. So I see Sadeas as more of a man of action, and Amaram more of like a spider type, like in the shadows, like pretending to be good because he wants to be popular, but really doing bad stuff for power.
Before he makes a move, Sadeas puts the pieces where they're supposed to be and then leaves.
Sadeas wasn't in that arena taking down Adolin.
Correct.
Well, yeah, he did sort of. Yeah, he did sort of puss out in the duel. But,
he was a gutless wonder at the end of the day.
But but that's another. So hold on though. But that's another plan that should have worked. But freaking supernatural powers came in to freaking screw up his plan. That plan should have worked, and Adolin and Renarin should be dead. But
sure, but not by his hands. So he's a gutless one.
Well, yeah, but I'm not saying he's not gutless, but
Yeah.
like his plans work. It's just
ruthless.
supernatural crap is fucking up his plans. There's no reason. There's no way for him to account for a Knight Radiant jumping into the building and saving the brothers. There's no way for him to account for Kaladin holding a bridge against freaking a bunch of Parshendi to save Aladin and Dalinar, right? There's no accounting for that. So his plans all should have worked.
Okay.
Yeah,
But divine intervention stops them from working.
You know the argument that I'm going to accept for putting Sadeas over Amaram, and I've thought this out. Sadeas would have killed Kaladin after taking the Shardblade.
True.
Amaram
argue
Instead of
that,
banishing him, 100% Sadeas would have offed him. 100%.
Okay, so that's the argument that I can accept to put Sadeas.
100%. I don't think he would. I don't even think he would have thought twice about it. He would have just offed him. Yeah.
They would have even had the meeting.
All right. So Zeth, I like on paper, but I wish he would start doing
hasn't
some
done
more.
anything yet. Yeah.
This book
one
is going to be
is
Zeth's backstory,
So
right?
good, and then
Book 5 is supposed to be Zeth's book, so it better be because I've been waiting for
book
it.
3 was supposed to be Seth's
It was right now.
It's
Like
got-
it
this
got
one's
pushed
got his
all the way
backstory.
back to now, and I'm so afraid that it's not going to be his backstory, and we're not going to fucking know anything about Shinovar still. And it's like, can we please
There's no way that's
get
not-
fucking his
no way.
backstory, please?
Zeth. Okay,
You got Articus in the chat trying to derail the whole conversation by mentioning
That's
another
insane.
book series.
What?
He's
What, this
trying
one
to
right
get trying to get me to talk about Lightbringer.
No,
Oh, I haven't
No,
read
let's not
Lightbringer,
do
so
that.
that. Sorry. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Alex. What were you saying?
Zeth is perfect next to Hoid for guys with a ton of potential who haven't done shit.
Yeah.
I also
Yeah, but he's got a book
hate-
to go.
That's fine, but he hasn't done shit yet. We could redo this in 2 years.
Yeah, but he has done the first chapter of Way of Kings, which is the best part of the book. So
Yes, Zeth being a fucking truck, and not only his assassinating Gavilar, but also his fights with Kaladin are basically all that's saving him from being a D, in my opinion.
Yeah,
because he has not done anything
done-
fucking
I
wrong.
agree.
Since
And
the
he had-
end of Way of Kings.
and he's had Nightblood since book 2. And he still hasn't done anything.
No, book 3.
Book 3?
He gets an extra
He hasn't
point
done
to-
anything with
No.
Nightblood.
Yeah, and so
Yeah, he had a fight.
Alan Nathaniel Fields, he fucking does a lot with Nightblood. He almost kills himself in the
Thousands
Fate on the
and
Field.
thousands and thousands of NPCs.
He turned black.
But yeah, he still killed them. Like he used Nightblood more than Vasher. If we're actually gonna be,
Yeah, if we
you know-
want to do a body count, yeah, you're not wrong.
yeah, if we're doing a body count, Zest used him more than Vasher has. But I'm not
think
disagreeing
Nightblood
with you.
says-
I'm the one that said it first. Is he just hasn't done anything yet? I want.
I don't remember the
I want
moment. So
more.
I'm forgetting. What
The
what
Battle
what
of
did he
Nathaniel
use it?
Field, him and Lift are running around with the gem heart to try and.
Oh, in book 3. I
Yeah.
need to reread book 3.
Yeah, him and
that's
Lift
the
are
longest.
put together, and they're basically running around playing, hot potato with the ruby gem to.
Okay, I forgot
keep
about
the
that
thrill
part.
bottled up. I forget the name of it.
Here's my problem. The way this works in my mind is every time you kill 1,000 people, I forgive one time you cried, and Zeth is struggling to get into the positive on that
Well,
count.
but this is why I need his backstory because of his whole, the O
Yeah,
stone and all
Why,
that.
yeah,
shit.
why are those rocks so important to him? Okay.
I need the backstory to just cement all of that, right? It's like
Yeah,
I'm fine with him having Nightblood. I'm fine with him having his fucking spren that's almost afraid of him because he's got Nightblood. I'm good with all. It's like there's building blocks there for Zeth to be great, but it's just like it's a Jenga stack right now. And it's just like, all right, can we push those pieces back in there because I really want like the whole picture. I'm waiting for the whole picture of Zeth. He has a massive, I think you put a massive amount of potential. Let's see it realized. That's just where I'm at with him too. I don't know.
it's gonna be a pretty.
I love him, but
it's gonna be a pretty fine needle to thread. This book, right, for Sando, with the things that you've talked about that you need him to tie up or whatever. Just with Seth alone, plus all the other things that needs to come to fruition, but without finishing the story completely because it's got another whole back 5 to do later on. Like,
So, Mark, real
it's
quick,
tough.
Mark, thanks for being a member for 5 months. I need to reread these books because I don't remember anyone. Well, then reread them, bro. I hope you have a good night's sleep, man. Thanks again, Mark. So I don't know. I want him, like, I don't know. I really am pulling for this to be, like, I know who knows what's going to be in Shinovar. I'm very eager to see what's going on in Shinovar. Like, the biggest fear for me for book 5 is now that book 5 is supposed to be the last of this era of Stormlight, and we're supposed to be doing an era shift similar to Mistborn.
I think he said
Which
like
I don't love.
20 years.
So I am very something like that. 20. I heard 10. I've heard anywhere from 10 to 20, but which isn't as big a leap, thankfully, as Mistborn. But
Yeah.
but there's
So, like, the characters will be in it. They might have
they
kids.
better be, because there's
That's-
so much
that
shit
sounds
undone.
The ones that
Horrible.
survive will carry it.
Every anime that has ever done this and done, we're focusing on the next generation right now, has been ass.
That's what I'm worried about.
Well, but
biggest-
like, not to get derailed, but I feel like the jump from Mistborn to Mistborn Era 2 was actually an improvement.
100%, but that was, we jumped an era. You know, I wasn't fucking listening.
Oh, you're
to
talking about
fucking-
the 20-year jump,
Yeah,
instead of
like,
changing a whole decade or a whole like.
So more than one
That's right.
generation.
We weren't freaking listening to Vin's kids running around being less impressive Vins.
Right. Yeah.
My greatest fear for Stormlight Book 5 is exactly what Articus just typed in the comments.
What this one? It will be a book about Zeth and Jasnah and her convincing him why traditions are stupid and social constructs hold you back. I fucking hope not.
It will not be.
I hope not. All right.
I'm going to Utah for this. If that's that, I'll blow the place up.
No, Navani Colin.
D.
I
don't
like.
know what to say.
I
Remember
liked
that-
her in book 4.
remember
I liked
that-
her. I
oh.
liked her arc in book 4. But
I like that
I'm a
relationship she had.
I'm a nerd though, so like the tinkering stuff, like I was like, oh, give me more of
I
this.
like that too.
I understand it slowed the book down, but man, I was eating it up.
I'm totally good with tinkering. What I'm not good with is tinkering while you're being held
I
hostage
know!
by the enemy and turning all of your achievements over to them.
Yeah,
You
she
stupid
she
bitch.
helped the enemy.
No
like-
one's saying she's smart, mate. She thinks she's smart, but she's not. But as a character, though, we've only had one book of it. Apart from Rhythm of War, you couldn't even really draw a comparison. You couldn't even draw any kind of opinion.
Yeah,
of
she was
that,
just
though.
flirting with Dalinar.
Navani is the
to...
kind of character that introduces the timeless questions like, is it okay to bang my brother-in-law?
Yeah.
Which is totally fair. But my problem with her is like what happens in a lot of fantasy now. As soon as a dude starts banging a chick, he immediately gets lamer. And man, I hate to say it.
It's true.
Well,
That's just
she
not-
helped out the enemy like
Jesus
a ton.
Christ.
Like I don't even know the word for it. I don't, and it's just like the amount of
Traitor. The word is
Treason.
traitor.
Yeah.
It's called treason, yeah.
yeah. I'll put her down here for that. Yeah, I'm with you. Because yeah, I mean, I like, it's just, I don't know.
I like the Rabonial thing, though. I really like that about book. There's one part of book 4 that I didn't hate. Like that.
I think some of it's interesting,
Dynamic
but just
and
her
Rabonial,
actions
like-
make her just. She's not thinking about anything other than fucking.
She isn't
Oh,
a
I gotta
traitor.
put this.
Wait, Rand didn't become more boring. Rand choked out Min.
Sorry, man.
That's the
she's
best
like,
comment.
Rand is a goat.
I need to. So you know, okay. Yes, she is. Okay, yeah. Like she didn't have to make all these scientific discoveries for the Parshendi in her tower, and give them to she could have just sat there and done nothing, but she was being selfish and she wanted to know what was going on and how to do it. So she just said, "Well, fuck it. You guys can learn how to use anti-fucking Stormlight, and you guys can learn how to harness this. And hey, by the way, did you know metal reacts to this, and you can trap somebody in this shit if you use the right metal?" It's like, Jesus Christ, woman, would you stop?
In her defense, she was trying to keep the big discoveries secret. It didn't work, but
Oh, yeah.
She's like the anti-Albert Einstein. If instead of fleeing to America, Albert Einstein got captured by the Nazis and proceeded to give the Nazis the nuke, that is Navani.
Look. See, the whole and I, again, don't want to get sidetracked. I had a whole premise of Rhythm of War is what I had a problem with. How do you lose your Thiru?
Yeah,
It drives me crazy. There's a little fucking tunnel in the bottom of it. Come on.
That dude's go through the walls, but they had the Stonewalkers go through the walls. That was kind of cool. I like that. There's squires everywhere.
Like it drives me crazy. I don't know. It pissed me off.
You lose Urithiru by nerfing Kaladin into a depressive stupor, so he's physically incapable of doing the one thing he's good at.
Yeah.
Wow. Hearing you put it that way, man, Kaladin might be a fucking D on this list if you do not stop talking about this.
Dude, we've talked about it before. We've talked about it before.
Kaladin's still my boy, though.
No, Kaladin's still my boy, but it's one of those. Book 4 did
He's
damage
got some
to
work
Kaladin.
let's be honest, he's got some work to do in Book 5, doesn't he? Let's be frank.
But Book 4 did real damage to Kaladin.
If they actually go through with, I'm just going to be a medic now. No.
Oh, God, dude. Oh, my God.
My mind.
Yeah, hey, I'm in full shard plate and I don't fight. It's like, yeah, you're saving a lot of lives, Cal. Fucking Lirin. Okay, Moash.
Moash is Chuldung.
Chuldung?
Yeah. I just don't understand his motivation. I like what he does, that he kills Elokar. The betrayal was fine.
His motivation is he's been lied to, right?
Yeah, leading up to it, right? Like seeing, these people that did all these horrible things to us, we're putting them in charge. I liked the moment up to the betrayal, but then afterwards it changed. It completely changed in Book 4 to when Kaladin has the conversations with Moash, it instead of I'm doing this out of revenge, he's doing it because he's depressed.
Well, and then on top of it,
that made no sense to me. He's like, I'm just doing it because I want to. He's essentially not Asmodean. He's the Forsaken who wants to break the wheel. He just wants everything to end.
Moradin.
If we're knocking Navani for being a traitor, I mean, he's a full turncoat. I mean, he's killing people
on purpose, though. Like.
I don't know.
I can deal with him being a traitor. I can deal with him being a bad guy. Like, Moash is a bad guy. He's supposed to betray people. Navani is supposedly a good guy and doesn't. Like, for me, Moash is a C. Like, he's a good villain, and I would even argue that he was like a B at his height. He was menacing. He was powerful. He was everything you want a villain to be. Even fairly well motivated. But man, this last book, again, and I know I keep saying this, but man, this last book was brutal for his character. Yeah. Instead of being a truck, he was just a whiny baby who didn't do anything. Whiny bitch.
Yeah, I know, I agree, Alex. I agree with Alex. I have him in a C for the exact same reason, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's Chuldung. I just put him, but it's just, yeah, like, I don't know. And I need to. Rhythm of War is more fresh in your mind, Alex, than mine. Yeah. So I really do need to read it. But
he's so good. The moment of the assassination and building up to it.
Oh yeah.
And like the conversations that he has with Kaladin before that, of like, hey, but like, how can we forgive these people? And it's wonderful. And then you realize, oh no, wait, he's not on the same page.
Well, he's anti-Kaladin, right?
And it's wonderful.
He killed the king, right? He
it's
killed
perfection.
The king,
and then it's just not.
Yeah. He killed the king. You see where he's gone. See, but hold on. So isn't Moash sort of in a better place than Kaladin? Is moping around a tower crying because he has PTSD, which I get PTSD. I've never had to deal with it, but whereas Moash is rising through the ranks, becoming a god to the Parshendi, killing heralds.
Yeah, but he hates.
Is there an argument to say Moash has landed in a better spot? Like,
There's absolutely an argument that Moash at the end of Book 4 is a more impressive character than Kaladin. Like, I mean, you have to ignore the first 3 books, but if you only take that one
Can't
and you
ignore the
stop
first
at
3
the end
books.
of Book 4, you absolutely can make that argument.
But you can't ignore the first 3 books, so you can't make that.
I know. If we were purely in the moment,
Yeah, I get you. You're not, yeah.
uh,
I get you.
so
Who is this?
Sigil, there's not really much going on. We can't really count Sunlit Man yet.
He's fantastic, and Sunlit Man hasn't done jack squat.
Yeah, so
It's not
I
the
mean,
same-
I'll
It's
put
not the
him in
same
D.
character in Stormlight, man. It's so weird. I want to
Yeah.
know. That's my biggest thing. I want to know how he got to be that person from.
I
Right.
love Sunlit Man. Holy crap,
Yeah,
it's such a good book.
Yeah, I love Sunlit Man too.
I forgot.
I
I didn't know who Sigil was when they said it. I was like, wait, which?
Oh, you didn't realize who Sigil? I knew who Sigil was.
Well, no,
but-
I knew. I recognized the name, but I was like, but wait.
So,
what
it-
has he done though?
if you
I had to
haven't,
look it up, and I'm like, nothing.
if you haven't read Sunlit Man, I think cover your ears for 2 seconds. I think the best takeaway from Sunlit, well, not the best, but one of the best takeaways for me from Sunlit Man was the fact that Roshar and Scadrial are at war. And there's a full-on Scadrial fucking Rosharan war going on, and you know that freaking you know that Kelsiar's out there somewhere instigating the whole fucking thing because he's like, fuck the rest of the Cosmere. If Scadrial's cool, we're good. So I love that part. I don't know. Sunlit Man was good. Like I enjoyed it quite a bit, but all right, Arc, we're done.
Spoilers over.
Arcticus, we're done with Sunlit Man. So I'm just gonna put I think Sigil D just for lack of anything going on with him right now.
Yep.
Relane, I think
so
I think
He's got a lot of unfulfilled potential too, though.
yeah I sort of want to put him in the B.
yeah, I'm
B or high C.
He's
I
fine.
feel he needs to be above Renarin, but
Yeah, for
He's
sure.
above Renarin. but not-
I'm comfortable with B.
See, his thing of, the lone Parshendi still on the squad, while he's doing his best to be a good guy and everybody's being a dick to him, cancels out his little bit of whininess for me. I think B is a good spot for him.
how we feeling about Rock?
I don't.
Rock is a fucking A-tier character, bro. He's the
B.
best airstick lowlander motherfuckers if you say it.
How are we knocking Adolin for not being in the books enough so that he can't be an A, but we're counting Rock as an A?
But Rock
I don't
is
think
actually
Rock's
a
an
side
A.
character.
I
Rock
mean,
is
I just threw him
actually
up there
a
because
side
I like him. I don't know that he's an A. I mean, I wish Rock would man up and put on some damn shard plate and take a shard blade. That he's
Yes.
got like fucking 8 of them now. I mean, it's like, dude, like your daughter gets it. She's picked up a shard. She's looking for a sword and shard plate to go to war. What you've earned shards, my man. Pick one up and go. Like
Yeah.
that's the biggest. That's my biggest knock with Rock is I want him to just stop with the whole I'm just a cook thing and realize that he's more than that. But
He's an entertaining side character who I'm not really sure why he's in the book at all.
Oh,
I don't know about that. I think he fits a very comfortable niche.
I don't hate him. I like him. I just don't.
I think he's Kaladin's conscience. I think he levels. I think he grounds Kaladin when he's like Kaladin's therapist almost. Like he grounds him when he's
Yeah. Okay.
you
Yeah, but not in book 4.
well no because they're not.
It was the other guy.
Rock is off in the mountains and everything goes to shit. Like let's be real.
Rock reminds me of in baseball when you have a really good relief pitcher. Where,
Okay.
I like having a really good relief pitcher, but he also doesn't move the needle a ton. So,
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm at.
I
with him.
felt like Teft was more effective as
Well, yeah. So I'm putting
as a
Teft.
therapist than Rock.
Speaking of Teft, I put Teft at A just because
Teft
I
was
like
wonderful.
Teft.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to
Rip
make
Teft.
an argument for Teft
Go ahead.
as a B.
Okay. I mean, if it's B, it's going to be high B.
I agree. It's a high B. My argument
He's
would
not a
be
better character than
he's
before.
not in the books a ton, and he's responsible for talking to Kaladin a lot when Kaladin is being his most annoying. And he's not always the best at getting Kaladin to stop being annoying.
True. Well,
Because
because
he's a druggo, mate.
he's dealing with his own shit. Yeah.
I know, I get it. He's a druggo. But this is another one that when people talk, I'm not sure that Sanderson's representation of addiction is necessarily on the money.
Wasn't too bad, just quietly. Not that I know anything about that, but
No, it's certainly not terrible, but I think there was room for improvement in much the same way that it's not as bad as his representation of Kaladin or Shallan or Renarin.
I think Renarin's the worst. I think Renarin's the worst. Shallan's not bad. We can argue that, but Shallan's not too bad.
I don't know. But between not being in it a ton and I'm getting a little bit annoyed with the relapses, I would be.
You're getting him B. I agree with the B, but I don't think he's as good a character as Hoid or Zed.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair
All the
enough.
way.
I'll put it right there. Yeah. I think that's fair enough.
I think he's better than Rock, but
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think he's good right there. Well, maybe even there.
Oh, he's probably okay. Probably better than Rock.
I think he's good right about there.
right
so.
there, right there.
Lopen I put right in Choldung, unless anybody has any.
Really?
He gets on my nerves so fucking much sometimes. Like it's okay in little bits, but just like Dawnshard was too much for me.
Oh, he was brutal in Dawnshard. The only thing I'm going to say is that in many ways Lopen reminds me a lot of Eldan. Like they look the same. They have the skinny brunette thing going on. They talk goofy, but they're genuinely they're funny guys and they're great guys at the end of the day. So, I like even before the stream, Lopen reminded me a little of Eldan. So.
Hey, see the Lopen.
Oh well,
is
fuck! Then we gotta move him out. No.
I haven't read Dawnshard yet, so I'm not looking forward to it.
There's a lot of
I
Lopen
I just ruined it for you. Every time he says the Lopen, you're gonna hear, Eldan is the best flyer in the Windrunners.
The Lopen. So I don't know. So what do you think? Like I just threw him in children. I mean I think he needs to be lower, but I mean it could probably go right behind
Low C,
Moash.
high D, I think is probably fair for
I think
Lopen.
he's a better character than Elokar.
Well, if we're doing so, yeah. So I guess we need to do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's better.
I think we have to. I think we just want to get him in the letters first, and then we can shift him around.
Yeah,
the letters.
That's fine. All right.
Well, I know Articus has been waiting for Sile for a long time.
So I actually I'm okay with like still very high. I would like to hear what you guys have to say.
I like her a lot. Sile is it Sile? Is it?
I pronounce it Sil. Sil is what they do.
Sil is waifu material. So.
Oh, disagree.
It's a perfect comparison because it's a relationship that's not real.
Yeah, she's not S tier. She's A tier for me too, man. She's definitely a better character than Adolin.
She's a body pillow,
She nags constantly.
She's a hot fairy. She's a hot fairy.
She's a fucking foot tall. What good does that do me?
She can be as tall as she wants. She can change. She can change and adapt.
Her?
It's a real relationship, but nothing's ever going to come out of it,
I like so.
You can cuddle your body pillow at night all you want, but it's never going to be the real thing.
Yeah, you can say that, but you can't tell me the Kaladin's not thinking about it every second day, mate. 100%.
Oh boy.
Does Kaladin's dick even work at this point, or is he too
I don't
depressed
think
to
so.
make that happen?
Maybe not.
I don't think. What about Pattern?
F.
I don't like Pattern at all.
What don't we like about Patton?
His annoying ass voice. And
Okay.
Fucking...
I like what he's in the story.
This is an argument
like
that I have heard for both Pattern and Lift. And it is that if you listen to the audiobooks rather than read it, Pattern and Lift come off as way worse.
Yes.
Because the reader is
The
just
voice for Pattern
brutal.
is fucking so and you're instantly right, because that's my initial like Aldan's like, why is he so low? It's like his fucking voice. It's like it's not even his voice, it's just how he's being portrayed in the audiobook. It drives
I've gone
me
half and half.
fucking
I read the first 3. Oh no, I read the first 3 books physically, and I did the 4th book audiobook. So
what is your take on this? Am I crazy, or is that
I like Pattern.
okay?
So where do we think?
Okay,
here?
I don't dislike Pattern.
Most of my disdain is from the voice from the audiobook.
How about
if
a
I'm
D?
being honest.
I think if 2 of us say F and 2 of us say C, I think that leaves us at a D.
Yeah, that's probably fair. Because I'd have him in a C. I don't hate him. But like
I
that's
put him in a
unfortunate if
high
the audio
D.
sucks. If the audio sucks so much, that's unfortunate, because a lot of the things that he brings to the story, like his take on what Shallan's thinking, is actually really intriguing. It's really interesting.
Some of the cryptic stuff, in what
it's-
It does
Oathbreaker.
add to Shallan's character a lot, and I love Shallan. So that's
I mean, Pattern is like the male side of Shallan's brain that thinks about things logically and like discourages her from doing stupid things all the time. Like, that's the best argument for Pattern, but still a D, because
That's not
the
true,
voice
Ryan.
annoys the
He
shit out
loves
of
it when she does stupid shit. What are you talking about? The more bullshit, the better. It's great.
That's a tough one. I wish Pattern would kill Shallan. Youch.
Yeah, Carb is not.
Yeah, I
wrong.
know it's true. It's not his fault at all, but it's it's just in there. It's just in there. I can't get rid of it. Get rid of it. I sort of want to go right to lift.
F.
Yeah.
Okay, we're all in agreement.
We're in agreement.
The thing that sucks is I think some of her shit is fucking interesting.
I
the
think you're right
character
about the
itself-
audiobook thing too, though, because I didn't mind her in books 1 through 3, and then in book 4 came around, I was like, eh.
Well, and
Yeah,
she's
this is-
portrayed
this
as
is
this like fucking brittle like thing, and she's just like,
I don't like
What?
that she was
You
just
do.
gifted an AVR at the end of book 4, and you're like, but she didn't do anything. Why
Yeah,
does she deserve a birdie?
She's Brando's favorite character, which is not a
She
great.
is, and it's very, very, very apparent,
Yeah.
and it's the worst. She is like imagine if Toph from the Last Airbender
Yeah.
was just the worst. Or like she is the Scrappy Doo character times 1,000. She is a fucking annoying ass, like so random Reddit post.
So the thing that drives me the most is like I think there's a lot of interesting things going on here, but I don't like her
Yes.
personality. I don't like her voice in the audiobook. I don't like either, and there's like all the things that could be interesting about her, like her. Well, I mean,
The way that,
edge
the
dancer,
fact that
but,
she does.
but the whole thing is that she's of cultivation and not of honor is interesting, and all that. But like
how she's got a different way of processing investiture for that system is also really interesting, right? We've only really seen that on.
Is it interesting or is it annoying that his favorite character is the one that, oh, look at me, look at how different I am, look at how awesome I am. Oh my God, Liv, shut the fuck up.
I
Kept talking
really
a
liked her
building
in,
was gonna fall on her.
I really liked her in book 2. I didn't love
Well,
the,
look, like
the-
I have to question frickin' Cultivation's choice of champions then, because she's an idiot.
Yes. And
Yeah.
in addition, and man,
Like she's an idiot. She's like you can like her or whatever. Sorry, Alex, but you can like her and not like her, but she's just she's dumb. She's literally an idiot. Sorry, go ahead, Alex.
She's a bit of a bogan, right? From Australian parlance, she's a bit of a bogan. She's just like something.
Well, she's a kid. She's also a kid, so it's like she's a child, so she should be partially an idiot because she's a kid. But like she's just like. It's supposed to be street tough freaking moron levels, and it's just like it's just for me it's just too much at some point. It's just like it's I can't take it.
Way too much. And the other thing about this bitch is her like first 15 appearances are in the little breaks in between the parts, and they're just like, Brandon, I need you to fucking focus here, buddy. You just hit a big climax. Keep going. keep pushing through, but instead it's like, no, here's 5 hours of characters you don't care about talking nonsense.
So you can skip that shit when you read it out. So you should read.
Oh, I
Flick, flick, flick.
It's funny that she's a perpetual child and yet she's close to cultivation. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know if there's something else going on with her, but she just, you know, her having. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that's. I think that's what makes her interesting is her connection to cultivation and how she invested her as a, you know, food. But I hope cultivation isn't her mother because that would be dumb. Like, sorry.
It's gonna be something weird, like she's a spren or something, and that's why she eats food.
Yeah, if cultivation's her mom, we're going off the deep end. Like, it's like we need to reel it back and finish some of the stuff that we've started here.
Who's her dad? Who banged cultivation?
Yeah, so I mean, like, I'm more interested in seeing who's gonna actually, like, if we're actually gonna have somebody bond the Night Watcher, because I think the Night Watcher is another bondsmith. It's the third. So we'll see if that happens, but. All right, sorry. So Taravangian.
Taravangian.
S.
Yeah, I like Taravangian a lot. I don't know what you guys.
I like that he's a very flawed villain. I think it's very interesting because, like, you can understand his logic and how bad it is, but also like understand that someone might fall into that logic. You know.
Yeah,
sacrificing 100%. The entire world to save one city is frustrating. And good lord, does this motherfucker whine? Like,
I like it.
I'm stupid today. You're stupid every day. Like, you were smart 3 times and you've been stupid the other 99 years of your life. Like, I get it. You're sad. Get over it.
I like it. It works for me though. I think it's a cool concept.
It's a cool concept.
Also, Dalinar not throwing this motherfucker off the tower as soon as he realized he was a traitor.
Yeah,
very frustrating.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
What drags Dalinar in. That fact there.
Dalinar should kill him. Yeah, we need the Blackthorn at that point. You should have just offed him. I don't even know why Tin's on this list. I put Tin right in Phil Dung.
Who is that?
Tin is the chick that taught Vale how to be Vale.
Vale's mother.
Vale's mother.
What?
She had. I don't know why she didn't make this.
Vale isn't real.
So
yes,
right. So Vale is the persona that Shallan takes on from Tin. Vale acts like Tin.
Tin was the lady she met when she crushed.
She's a Ghostblood.
Yeah. Which one of these days I need to go through what the Ghostbloods are doing and try and make sense of it because I don't understand what the hell the Ghostbloods are doing.
Well,
so I'm going to say something here that I think is going to make some people mad.
Uh-oh.
The Ghostbloods are a fucking mystery box.
Yeah, I think that doesn't make me mad. I think that's right.
I think it's pretty clear what they're doing.
They're trying to get invested on the planet so that they can.
Well, I think if you've
read.
What
does that have to do with killing Jasnah, killing Shallan? Like, I feel like their actions are all over the place.
I think if you've read Era 2, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Kaladin is kind of pissed off that
Kelsier?
That Sazed Kelsier is pissed off that Sazed isn't taking direct action, and so it's his job to make sure that Scadrial doesn't get screwed. And he's making some very bold choices and some enemies, and he's making sure he's ensuring Scadrial supremacy in the galaxy.
God.
He is a Scadrial he is a Scadrial supremacist. He's undermining other planets. He also sees that Roshar is a huge threat, not just because not even if they win against Odium, but if they don't, that's a huge threat too. That's going to be another shard who's going to go on a rampage and try and destroy Scadrial, just like which one was it? Tenacity or whatever.
They're trying to bring about an apocalypse.
It's trying to get invested off planets.
Well, he said he said it's in the prologue of book 5. So, like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I skipped
mystery
that one.
box.
I wanted to be surprised.
Mystery box. It is. So like I like your like I like what you're saying, but like that's why I need to put it together like because I felt like just sitting here and just like not having gone through it, I need to read the whole thing again because I felt like there were some things that the Ghostbloods are doing that contradict other things that the Ghostbloods have already done. And it's like, well, why are you doing both? Like I don't. It's like it doesn't. I don't understand. It's like you're trying to kill Shallan, and then all of a sudden Shallan is a Ghostblood. It's like
Ghostbloods are not the same they're not the same everywhere, right? So like there's
Yeah.
they're different on different systems.
Mhm.
Like they
Well,
operate differently.
It also
But
sounds
then how
like
are they all
like,
trying for the supremacy of Scadrial if they all operate differently and don't have anybody?
Well,
that
it could
supports
be a
them?
case
Not
of,
the gold.
fractured leadership, like the people on the different planets.
No,
maybe
Gavilar
aren't-
was a son of honor, not a Ghostblood, right?
True. It was.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm
He
pretty
was.
sure Gavilar was one of
I
the
think-
sons of
yeah,
honor
I
with
think-
Kalak.
I think you're right there.
It was.
The Sons of Honor were definitely trying to bring back the Apocalypse to force Night Radiance to come back.
Yes, that's not
The
the
Ghostbloods, I don't know. What do you mean about what do you mean about autonomy? Autonomy is a scary
Autonomy-
motherfucker.
autonomy-
But
Tommy is
was
one
the
who
Shad
in book 4 of
schedule.
Era 2.
Yeah.
I couldn't
Yeah,
remember
well, yeah,
which
yeah.
chart it was.
so yeah, Gavilar's a son of honor, not a Ghostblood.
I said tenacity.
You said autonomy. Okay, gotcha. All right, moving on because we could go down. Like, so I need to again. So it's time for another Stormlight reread. Well,
Yeah, it is,
thing
definitely.
because it's because like you know what I mean. It's like I follow. I track.
Well, especially with
what you're
book
saying
5 coming in. Yeah, rereading
when
all
you
of them.
find out when you figure out that Kelsier is the leader of the Ghostbloods, a lot of things click into place. But then a lot of things like you go back and you're like, well, wait a second. Why did they do this then? That doesn't make sense. So I feel like there's more of those than there should be, but again, that's also with a foggy memory of not rereading after that has been revealed that he is the leader of the Ghostblood. So I need to go through it all with the mindset of looking for some of those things.
It very well could be a mystery box. I don't think it is, but
We'll
It might
see.
be.
I don't know. We'll see. You could be right. I mean, it's up for grabs.
Mystery box.
I don't think the statement angers me because I think there's a possibility that it is. I think it could go either way. I think you could be right in
I think in general the insult of mystery box is used too much because I don't think a mystery box is bad if what's inside the box is interesting.
Well, if it's
Problem is when there's nothing inside the box.
there's been too many failed mystery boxes.
Yeah.
Mystery box shouldn't really be a bad word if it's actually done correctly.
Yeah, exactly. So
Depends on
I
the
think
box.
I think it's a
would argue
slur
it's
that's
not a
used
mystery
too much.
box if there's things in the box, but
Well, that
depends on the box.
that's semantics.
It's a conclusion box.
Just-
Yeah,
Just-
but I've heard
just
it used way too much for shows where there was something in the box, and I'm like,
What's in the box? It's Gwyneth Paltrow's head, okay, guys.
that's the antithesis of a mystery box. That's a head box.
It's Gwyneth Paltrow's head, okay? Get over it.
just put Risen and Shaldan.
Yeah,
Okay,
hold
thank
on.
you.
I
All right.
loved
Good.
her one chapter in the first book. I thought it was fascinating, and I haven't liked her since.
I can't. I don't know. Dawnshard.
Oh my God, my Babst.
I couldn't.
Call it
Yeah.
the Roth.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Cheery,
do
cheery.
Dawnshard. What's that?
Dragon is too.
I like Cherry Cherry, but
Yeah, I'm fine with
not-
Cherry Cherry. I like Cherry Cherry. I don't like that the name is Cherry Cherry, and she goes Cherry Cherry, Cherry Cherry. I like name it like fucking Rathor or something.
There's this girl at work and her name's Miri, so I'll call her Miri.
Mary.
Yeah,
So
correct.
I don't know why. So darkness is Naln or Nail.
Nail.
Skybreaker, Herald.
I love him.
Yeah, I think there's not
Nail.
much of him though. I feel like he should
Yeah.
go solid right and like there.
Sure.
Yeah,
I loved. Well, when you first see him,
Yeah, that's
you think, oh, this is the epitome of like lawful evil, but then you realize, oh no, he's just trying to stop the apocalypse.
Put him in there with the rest of the ones who have sort of a cool concept but haven't done shit yet.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's where I
Yeah.
threw him. Yeah, I threw him right in smack in the middle of that.
But
so.
great concept.
Yeah, no, well, again, it'll be, now that there needs shit. The more we're talking about this, so much needs to happen in this book. Holy crap!
That's what I was saying before, bro. There's a lot of shit that needs to happen.
Yeah,
and
so
and I'm worried that there might be a lot of it that's just like, oh, well, that's for the second half,
Yeah, unfortunately,
Which some of it, obviously, you can save it, but there's a lot of payoff that needs to happen in book 5.
Yeah.
Considering
Escher
what
and I-
Sigil we saw on Sunlit Man,
What's
I
that?
mean,
now?
how much of that? Considering what Sigil becomes by the time he gets to Sunlit Man, which is in the
I have
future.
no clue. I have no clue.
Like what? That's what I mean. Like that's just like what sort of things. Are
Well, yeah. How do you get from there to there? Like that's.
You can't get there. You can't get there in one book.
Well, we don't even know how long has passed either, so that's also a problem. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
It
So
has to be a-
Escher and I, anybody have any strong opinions about Escher and I?
You should have been book 4's protagonist instead of Venli. Fuck that. Bitch.
Yeah, Venli. I
Escher-
fucking hate Venli. Venli
I love
actually.
Escher.
Does anybody mind if I just put Venli right down here,
Go for it.
right next to
Not at
Lyran?
all.
Oh,
We'll
Dang.
get those two out of the way. Sorry.
Who's that? Who's Lyran? Hold on.
Lyran
I
is
have Escher
Kaladin's
as a-
father, who is busy
Oh.
trying to fucking make Kaladin weak
Yeah.
and a pussy.
Good,
It
good,
doesn't
good
understand-
concept. A good concept that's executed horribly.
And doesn't understand. Lyran doesn't understand the millions of lives Kaladin's saving by fucking killing all these. Oh, they're just like, you shouldn't kill Parshindi that are murdering everybody. It's like,
Lyran feels like I don't know if you want to get in trouble on your channel. Never mind.
no, go ahead.
you can put it in the private chat.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Like we could be risque. All my stuff gets yellowed, gets limited anyways. They don't like me, so.
I don't know.
Escher is a better character than Teft, and she's a better character than Darkness.
I think actually, Rhythm of War does her a benefit.
At the same time as like ripping her off big time. Yeah, that
I think Eshonai does a benefit, or Rhythm of War does
Imagine if
Rhythm
that
of
book
War
had
does a
been
benefit to Eshonai, but hurts Venli even more, which sucks since Eshonai is dead and we're stuck with Venli.
It's not cool.
Right?
But,
Does that
you
make
know,
sense?
I
Are
think
you
we're
with
supposed
me
to
or
feel
no? Like, does that make sense?
Makes sense.
So, yeah, we parallel thinking. Okay,
Oh wait, hold on a sec.
we both typed it at the exact same
Why
time.
you could have said that? Oh,
Okay.
I the first part. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, you can't say what-
I read Alex's. I read what Alex said, and not what you said. But agreed. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, thanks for not saying that.
Who is that? He's right, Alex.
All right, so we're good. I'm good with Eshonai right in front of Tess. I think that's fair. Zael. Now we're talking about. Are we talking about Vasher or
Vasher.
Zael?
We're talking about, well, it's going to be Roshar specific, right?
Because
But
if it's Roshar,
yes.
he's just like here. Because
Put him in the fucking pile of potential that hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah.
No, but
that's-
his two chapters in the 4 books are the best chapters.
yeah.
Zahil's my daddy, and I will fight you. He's S tier all the way.
So
But
Tech Max,
that's
I'm going to
great.
make an observation, and you have to promise not to get
Vasher.
mad at me.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Do you maybe have a little bit of
Daddy
girl who took my virginity syndrome when it comes to Warbreaker?
No. I've reread it multiple times, and it's still my favorite one.
I just finished Warbreaker. I like Warbreaker. I mean,
I don't resent the question. I do. It does feel like, oh, it's the first one, and that's why I like it so much. No, it's the best book. It is.
I don't know. It's not for me. I enjoy Warbreaker, but I feel like the front half of Warbreaker. I think there's a lot of Sanderson's books right now, or the back half is much better than the front half. And that's sort of how it takes. Like you said, Light Song. It takes a while for him to get past being annoying with his weird jokes and becoming an
hilarious.
actual character.
Well, Zahil is the one guy who puts Kaladin in his place and says, "Suck it up," you know.
Oh yeah,
That is a very compelling argument, and
And
almost makes up for him
anytime
not
Kaladin
being in the
interacts
book.
with him, it's just wonderful.
Well, there needs to be more. I wish I want more of him. Like,
Yes.
right? So I don't know. Like, I want to know, why did he give up Nightblood? Why is fucking Azur running? Why is fucking what's her face I always forget her name. Why is she chasing him? Vivenna. Why is Vivenna chasing? How is she chasing him? Why is she chasing him? Why did she? How did she make her own fucking sword?
Well,
that
I'm upset that we don't have Warbreaker 2.
Well, I'm upset we don't have Elantris 2 to make sense of Aeon Door.
I don't care about Elantris.
I want to know about Nightblight, mate. The talking sword. Fuck that magic shit.
I do like the back half. Giggity. Yeah, true. All right, so Zale is right there with potential. How about I put this untapped potential?
Yeah.
I can't spell. I spelled potential wrong.
It needs its own separate tier because like Teft, Relin, and Rock aren't untapped potential. They're just
so here.
Cs.
Here we'll move them. So here, so let's see.
Yeah, put them down into the C, and B will just become untapped.
So is that where we? Is that where? Untapped.
That actually
potential. Did I spell potential right? Probably not. Hey, did I?
Ential.
Yay! So did I get that? Are they in the right floor? Was there any way else we could add to that?
We'll wrap them up. We'll wrap up within the tiers as we.
Was Relaine? Yeah, I feel like Relaine
could go either way. Yeah,
Relaine is both. I feel like
I'm gonna put him there. So, all right, cool. So let's see here. So we are on to Maraise.
He's fine.
He's a loser. He's a D.
Yeah, he's fine. I actually like him. I like what he does for the story. I like the cosmic connections he brings.
Man, he doesn't do anything though. He did very little in the way of actual hard.
He kills the other guy who had a bird.
He hunts the chicken.
His self-insert. So let's see here. We'll put him. Sigil does nothing. He's above Renarin, probably there.
Sure.
Yeah, he's above Navani. I reckon.
What's that?
He's the one killing Navani. Is that Patton?
Yeah.
He's not Pattern. I like that spot.
I think Pattern should be in front of Elokar, though.
Maraise could also. There's an argument that he could be untapped potential as well, but he's done stuff. It just hasn't been enough.
We're brainstorming. We just want to get him on the board.
Okay, so Gaz.
D.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Fine as a annoying antagonist in book 1, and his continued existence proves to be irritating every time.
Yeah, I don't know. Gaz is Gaz. Gaz is Gaz. Stormfather.
It's pretty good.
B, baby.
Stormfather's a wicked character.
B is untapped.
I like the idea of a dead god.
Yeah, I'd probably put him in untapped potential /B.
Okay.
No.
He's been used though. He's been used. His arc is pretty much over.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the problem is
it really?
He serves his purpose. You pretty much got all the information you can out of him, and now he's just going to be another shard sword.
We're talking about the Stormfather, yeah?
Yeah.
He's not even begun. We have not begun to see his potential yet. I have Stormfather in an A for sure. I think he's a better character than Amaram.
I mean, as far as like
with the Stormfather, hang on, but no, just wait for a second. When those scenes come in the books where the Stormfather just like breaks the book and just stops everything.
Yeah.
And whether it's Kaladin or whatever, just has to sit there and look at this massive fucking like face across the sky.
Yeah, it's fucking Mufasa.
Some of the best moments. They're some of the best moments in the book.
Okay, but Dalinar had to browbeat him into being useful.
Yeah, because he's a bit shitty, whatever. He's
dead!
I can see you, Alex. I see you. he's a bit of a sook. All right, fine. But he still has some of the best moments in the book.
That's fair.
All right, so I'll leave him there. Where are we putting Gavilar?
Oh, now see.
Untapped potential. We don't...
Yeah, have you read the intro for book 5?
Yeah, the intro for book 5 is pretty fucking sweet. I'm still good with putting him here.
What do you mean untapped potential? Navani tapped that.
Well, he tapped Navani.
I think he tapped Navani.
Really, but
The intro so the prologue for book 5 is like
The prologue of
Gavilar's-
book 5 is all him talking with Null and
Is it from his perspective?
yeah.
from his
Oh crap! Okay.
It's
Yeah,
really
we get
cool.
we get Gavilar's perspective.
I was gonna
of-
save it. Now I'm tempted.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say I haven't read it yet either. I'm kinda
So yeah,
tempted to
so
do it.
so book 5.
You,
the
you
prologue-
finally get that
Yeah.
from his perspective.
Yes, we get his perspective of
And
the
it's,
assassin.
and
White,
it's
yep.
rad.
It's
proper,
really
it's
good.
proper awesome.
It's really good.
It makes me,
Yeah.
yeah, blows you. Cool.
Yeah, it's really
Oh man,
good.
I don't know if I can wait a year for that then.
I need to read it again, but I remember there's some shit in there they're like, whoa, right? Yeah, there's some whoa shit in the prologue, like
There
including what Stormfather talks to him. Yeah, that's right. I remember now.
Does
I
he
know
though?
it's
That's
online.
right. That's it, right? Does he exactly?
Does
There's
he?
some shit in there. Yeah,
It's fucking
I
nuts.
think he's good right in the middle of untapped potential. Really,
Yeah, he's in
I
the
mean,
middle.
just
Yeah, because he's a good character.
I'm
yeah,
pretty
I
sure. there's-
actually like Gavilar, and his motivations are interesting. I don't know. Probably
until that
here.
prologue though, but until that prologue of book 5, but you think he's just whatever, who cares? But then you read that, and it's like, actually, he's
Yeah.
that's yeah, it changes everything.
So Nightblood.
Not bloody S tier.
C.
S tier.
All right, Steve, you and I have had this conversation before, but we're gonna have it again.
Go ahead. I'm in the middle of
Nightblood.
reading it, so we go ahead.
Nightblood is a gay version of Stormbringer.
I don't know, man. I see part of that, but I just, does Stormbringer start talking to Elric?
Yes, and it's terrifying.
Oh, does
And
he?
he's
Okay.
so evil.
All right, so I'm not.
So
I'm not there
monstrous.
yet. So
yeah,
so
but
if that's the
Nightblood
case,
Nightblood destroys evil.
Yeah, that's why I said he's a gay version of Stormbringer.
Okay.
I don't mind that. It's
Oh, I
okay.
like
If
that.
Norporto, but if Norporto was here, he's like, "There's nothing wrong with that," right?
Not that
There's
there's
everything wrong with that. What are
None
you
there's
talking
anything
about?
wrong with that.
And
I
that's
should
fine.
have
I
a
guess-
clip. I should have a clip of him going. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I don't know. I just whenever I see something that's like,
I just
oh,
realized I can use Nightblood as a
Stormbringer's
back scratcher.
Oh, Nightblood. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Nightblood, but I'm gonna put him
On
in A.
Rosha. On Rosha, come on, man. Not bloody wicked.
It's so fun.
I mean, I'll put him up there. I think Alec. The reason I don't is we have someone on the panel that disagrees.
I was
So
just
I'm just trying to be fair.
Man,
So I think A is
I'll put him above. I reckon that's legit. Because I'll put him above Hoid and on Rosha. I'll put him above Zeth. Actually, would I put him? I'm not sure. I'd put him above Zeth.
So like when you get to the part where
so like there.
Yeah, maybe.
where Stormblood or Stormbringer starts possessing Elric and Stormbringer starts calling for blood, like that's just a different level of fiction and fantasy that I just don't think this series has ever gotten to. But
Who is Roy on? Who is this? Did I
It's
miss
one of the
somebody?
High Princes. He's a nobody. You know, you need to
Yeah,
get
and Azur doesn't do anything except for whine a little bit and look for Basher. So I don't think there's much of Azur to talk about other than she's there and she's Vivenna.
I mean, she was interesting in book 3. Like she had a good
Was.
portion, but
Yeah, she did
Yeah,
fine.
that
but
was it.
just-
It was like
yeah.
it was a cameo.
Okay, what about Odium?
better character than Navani.
Yeah.
Odium, I feel like Odium's a C. Like
I think
he's-
Odium's C too.
Yeah, I was
what,
gonna say
what differentiates him
I'll
from
put him at the top.
I mean, isn't Odium just kind of a lame version of the Dark One?
Dark
Same
One's
version
better
of
for
what?
sure.
Dark One's better, but like I mean, like he said, like the Dark One, like I mean, are we talking Dark One Shadowharan? Or are we talking like because the Dark One doesn't really converse unless we're counting Shadowharan as being the Dark One.
I mean,
Unless
they're
you go
both
to
just
Sheo Gul.
this kind of like all-encompassing,
He's not.
oppressive entity that kind of
Yeah,
just.
he's not though. Odium's not that bad. Odium's not that.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. better
Well,
than
no, I
Yasna.
mean when Dalinar sees him and talks to him and gets kind of that first glimpse of what Odium is, and he realizes, he has the the realization of the extent of how far Odium reaches, both sort of physically, spiritually, temporally. That's for me that was very Dark One-esque.
Yeah, that's true. But I think that the difference being in his ability to converse, the nature of the avatar, I guess it's probably. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about the avatar of Odium or Odium the Shard?
Well, I mean, I guess
Shard.
the shard. I guess.
Yeah, well, in that case, Alex, I think you're probably right. If we're talking about the Shard, I reckon that's fair.
Yeah, if you're talking about the avatar, the comparison is Shadow Haran.
We're talking about the avatar, we're then talking about now Teravangian, not in Ray's, who's gone.
Right.
So
the comparison would be Ray's versus Shadow Haran.
Yeah.
Are we agreed though that like 1 through 3, like he's practically S tier, and then it's just our problem.
I think so. Like I love some of those.
I'm trying to remember
conversations between Dalinar and.
They're terrifying.
They're great.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember how they trick him in book 4. It's been a while, so I know that he.
Well, it's the whole the fucking champion thing, which I don't understand.
Well, that's
why
set up at the end of 3, right? Well, we're gonna have a contest of champions.
Well,
but the twist was Odium was gonna make Dalinar his champion, right?
Well, he wanted to, but then he was trying to make it. Yeah. He was trying to make him, and then Dalinar ascended basically, and spoke the second, the third ideal, right?
Yeah,
the third ideal. Yeah.
So, and then Amaram doesn't become the new champion, right?
No,
he just sucks in the
rush.
The
thrill.
Rush. The thrill.
Yeah.
A rush.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, and then I don't understand why Odium agreed to the he's got him on the ropes. I don't understand why he agrees to a.
Well, there was something in there there's like ancient laws or something like that.
So it's supposed so it's supposed to be a speed thing. Like the whole thing is the reason he agrees to a contest of champions is because he can take over
quicker
the planets quicker. Whereas if he doesn't, he can still manipulate events, but he has to wait.
I think his
longer.
concern is that
there's other shards in play.
The other shards are in play, and that and that Dalinar is going to get basically the heralds are going to come back, and things are going to get really fucking annoying for him.
Okay, so that's how it's set up. But then in book 4, they trick him by it's Teravangian takes Nightblood, right? Or I can't remember. How does book 4 end?
So basically, Dalinar refuses to be his champion. He ends up basically in prison. Teravangian realizes that what Nightblood does is eat souls, so he goes in. He basically tries to use Nightblood on Risen and does, and as a consequence, he ends up getting possessed by Odium.
So is that Odium's fault? Like you've been saying, he just got tricked and he's so stupid.
He had no way of knowing that.
I'm not saying stupid. I don't think Odium is stupid.
Nightblood eats investiture.
Yeah,
he eats the life force.
I don't know. I think he's still a pretty good villain, and I think it's scarier now that he's attached to
Teravangian. Yeah, I think Odium's worse as Teravangian
because he's got the crazy intellect stuff that it's going to combine.
Yeah,
so I think it's a really good villain that was stuck with a flawed avatar. And that's why he gets tricked in book 4, but it backfired because we didn't realize. But now he's got a smart boy body, and I don't know. I kind of like him more.
Plus, he's got Hoid's copper mine now too.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say is, as smart as Teravangian seems to think he is, Teravangian does some dumb shit sometimes.
Yeah, he's dumb most of the time.
Yeah, he's dumb most of the time.
True, but even on his smart days, I
still miss Kaladin.
The commentary that I kind of agree with about Teravangian is Teravangian does the thing where he's the high IQ guy that thinks communism works because he doesn't.
It's never been tried.
and he fails to appreciate that everybody on Earth isn't like him. So the world isn't made up of 150 IQ people running around. So the system you build for them doesn't work, and that's sort of always the impression I've gotten from.
There was something about that too.
But that makes him more scary. That makes him more scary.
Odium was scared of Renarin because of his future sight, because his spren is fucked up. Yeah. That's in there somewhere too. God, I need to reread these.
Yeah, so
hey,
I don't agree with the comments saying that Odium is ruined. I think that he's better.
I don't think he's ruined. I think he's scarier now that he's in Teravangian, personally. But I thought that was a big upgrade for him. Just Raze was sort of, at least for where they're at, he gains a lot of knowledge about.
Raze as well, because the shard begins to affect the avatar over time. Like, so Raze was just.
Well, wasn't he going insane?
Raze had kind of become just a shell by that point.
Yeah.
You can see the same thing happening to Sazed. You know, he's kind of
Sazed is turning into Discord, so that's going to be interesting. But
Yanin, I disagree with you on that comment. I think Jasnah is the opposite side of that coin, in that Jasnah recognizes that there are 80 IQ dumbasses in the world. She just is firmly of the belief that the smart people should rule the dumb people with absolute authority. That's the difference between Jasnah and Teravangian.
Yeah, Teravangian thinks they should die. So he's a globalist.
So when you hold a shard, you become the shard, is my understanding. But you can be dispossessed of the shard and then get your own thoughts and emotions back.
I don't think you get your own thoughts back. I think that, have we ever seen that?
When you're dispossessed the shard, or do you, when the shard is taken away, or do you just die if you're dispossessed from the shard? I don't know.
I don't think we've seen anyone survive being dispossessed of a shard.
That's true. We haven't. But I think that it's a melding of.
Although actually, that's not true. That's not true, because when our Vin died.
Vin died, yeah. Vin's dead. So where do we want to put Odium then? After all that,
I think he's
A, like in front of Syl or behind Syl?
I'd actually have him in. I'd have him in that potential one, because I don't know what he's going to be with Teravangian yet. Like, I think he has the potential in the new vessel to be a kick-ass villain, but I'm not 100% sure because I haven't seen it.
That's fair enough. I'm good with that. So.
Yep.
Okay, Sabario. I put him on there because Alex wanted me to put Sabario on there because he likes Sabario.
I love Sabario too.
He's a good side character.
He's a C. He's a solid guy.
He's solid. I'll put him in. Oh, well, I got to put him in front of Elokar.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, well, why have we saved this for last?
All right, so
what have you done?
Grand finale.
All right, so what should we do? So I feel like the discussion I don't know which discussion is going to be longer.
We've been talking about both of these characters the entire time.
So is Kaladin? I still want to put him there, but I feel like he's.
No, you can't.
He would have been, except for Book 4.
Yeah,
it's such a tragedy.
Wait, F? Do we lose the stream?
Oh, they're saying no. Put Kaladin as an F.
Kaladin is an F?
Who said that?
Never happened.
That's what Yanin is saying. Okay.
Kaladin has been...
Oh, no. You grabbed Shallan first. They're reacting
Kaladin has been my boy. Like Book 1 is
I still want to put him up there.
It's done so well. It is just perfection incarnate. And I was really excited starting Book 4 because I was like, oh, it's just more of Kaladin. But it really did take so long, and I think I like Book 4 more than you guys do.
I need to reread.
But at the same time, I do agree with the criticism. Like it really, it's tough.
I think
by the end it works.
So,
but the ride was too uncomfortable.
It's not. I need to read it again to give a better opinion of it. I know it's. For me, the worst of the 4.
But what it leads up to, though,
my biggest criticism
going off the tower.
Yes. Oh no! Look, when we got there, it was great.
Yeah.
It took way too fucking long.
I totally agree.
I think it
I
took
do.
way too long. There was way too much moping around with Kaladin and shit, and it took too long to get there. You should have cut a bunch of it out, or have him man up and start taking out Parshendi throughout the tower here and there, and like doing a freaking John Wick not John Wick, but
I don't disagree with any of that.
Just going through killing people and fucking off, right? But it just takes forever. It just takes forever.
Okay.
It was hard. It was hard to get there.
Yeah,
it was hard
It can't
to
be
get.
S tier because
Can you put? Okay, so if we do not have B, Kaladin has to be a C. He's not an S tier character.
I mean, I'll put him in an A. I can't put him in a C.
Okay, hear me out.
I can't. I'll put him in an A, but I can't put him in a C. I can't. It's one of those.
If it was books 1 through 3, he's an S tier.
books 1 through 2 is S tier. Book 3, he goes.
We've talked about so much. 4 hurts Kaladin a lot.
It does.
If
hurts
I
him a
was
lot.
grading Kaladin by book 1, he's an S tier character.
Yeah.
Book 2, I think he's an A tier character. Book 3, I think he's probably an A tier character, but I'm a little bit less confident on that one. And book 4, he's a D. Like, not only is he a miserable slog to get through, he is also the antithesis of the theme and the character development.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a complete... I would go so far as to say Kaladin may very well be an F in that book.
In 4, it's possible. But for me, it's just the highs with Kaladin are so high, and they just they outweigh some of the lows. Like the scene at the end of Radiance is just so freaking crazy. The tower. All the Bridge 4 scenes.
I would argue in
all
book
that
2,
shit.
he's still an S as well. Like his journey to try and protect Elokar, and the failure there is
really, really good.
But so that's why it's like I will like I can concede that 4 does a lot of damage to him, so I can move him down a tier, but I can't get him all the way down to C personally, but.
See, that's why I said if we have B, for me he's an easy B.
Yeah.
But because
I
we
can see
don't
that.
have B,
You gotta be.
No, I get that. No, I'm not even disagreeing you, but just for me, he's still just like I said. The highs are high enough for me to just push it up to that extra level. Now that's obviously just personal bias too, like a little bit of rose-colored glasses, because there is still a bunch of untapped potential in Kaladin and things that I want to see him do. But I mean, shit, if book, man, he could drop really, like he could be one of the biggest disappointments in the series if book 5 just doesn't go his way.
if he's as bad in book 5 as he is in book 4,
it's one of those things that
can't be.
Kaladin needs to come out swinging in book 5, or he could drop all the way to the bottom. I wouldn't fight you.
Okay,
I wouldn't even fight you.
Jan, and hear me out on this, and I promised we would talk about this. This entire Stormlight Archives
you're gonna have to unsub. Sorry.
is quite literally Sanderson's supposedly magnum opus is all about dealing with mental conditions.
Yeah.
And if we take Kaladin in The Way of Kings, he really knocks that PTSD thing out of the park. His depression and even his suicidal ideations are perfect in the sense that he is feeling hopeless. He doesn't have a direction to go in anymore, which is when men commit suicide. That's when men are the most depressed. By the time book 4 has rolled around, he has nothing but purpose. He has purpose. He has power to make changes. He has
especially after book 2 as well, because it's the natural progression of that of the defeat in book 2. It should be pushing him even further.
Yes.
He should have dealt with it. He should have gotten
he,
over it.
he thinks he can win, and when you look at like depression and when you look at suicide numbers, soldiers that are on deployment commit suicide at a lower rate than the general population do.
Yes.
It's when they get back and they no longer have a sense of purpose and they're no longer being tasked and they come to the conclusion that everything they do is meaningless and worthless.
Which is what he kind of tried to do with 4. He puts him on the bench, and so he
that's the problem.
loses a bit of his purpose.
You're in the middle of a war.
Yes,
like,
but in
for
order
the
to
world.
justify putting him on the bench, he had to be shutting down, which just doesn't happen. I mean, even the evolutionary, reason that people have depression is it's supposed to be when you get in a situation that's so bad, you just you burn your life down basically and start over. Whereas that's not where Kaladin is, and to get to the point where you're not even defending yourself when somebody is coming at you trying to kill you is the opposite. Yeah, it's the opposite of the evolutionary survival instinct.
Correct.
So,
what you said,
Luther, hold on. Luther, we're talking about it right now. We're actually trying to rate Kaladin as we speak. Basically, I think most of us agree that Kaladin up to Book 4 is extremely good. Book 4 does quite a bit of damage to Kaladin, at least in our perspectives. I think the number one thing for me is you're in the middle of the. He never should have been benched. Period. Like, you're in the middle of.
You're benched in Book 3.
You're in the middle of your Great War. He has people again. He has people to protect.
I'll try and steal
scores of them. And to think that he would just sit by and let them go out and die without even going out there to try and help them, I just don't believe that's in him. I believe he would. I don't believe he would sit out and let his people, who he has basically put in harm's way, because he has trained them, he has elevated them to Windrunners. There would be no Windrunners without him. None of them would be in the field. They all look up to him. I don't believe for a second that the Kaladin that we all knew would sit it out. I just don't see it. Now,
I think the big problem, because I don't hate the idea behind Book 4, because people do shut down in battle. It's less common, but people do get shell shock in battle, and they do have to be pulled off the bench. Whether or not that's what Kaladin should have experienced, that's debatable, right? But I don't hate the idea behind Book 4, the concept, but the execution is problematic. And where the problem is biggest for me is not that he was benched, but that after he was benched, when the tower gets attacked, and he still can't nut up, and he's watching people die, that took it too far for me. I could not get over that.
I understand.
I'm sympathetic, and I understand the arc that he wanted to go. And I think at the end,
he'd already done it.
It is a good arc to try and
already
attempt,
done it.
Like to accept. Hey, some people I can't save, right? And because that's the natural, to me, that's the natural progression from the failure of Book 2.
Well, isn't that the whole point of?
Hey, sometimes I'm going to fail, but the fact that he stood in the tower for the entire book and just kept failing
and let people die.
It was just too brutal.
Well, and like Aldan said, it's already like that was all of the whole Tien arc is you couldn't save him. He couldn't, and he has to freaking. But so we're gonna tread that same.
But yeah, that's the trauma
territory again. I mean, I guess it's just I don't know. Like I think you're right. I think the biggest thing is like, even if you bench him, right? When it's go time, and him just being completely just not able to do anything. It's just like it's incredibly frustrating. For me,
and Jan's mentioning the ideal. I accept that there will be those that I cannot protect. I like that idea. The problem was he could have protected a lot of people at the tower, and he didn't. He didn't. He
chose not to. He made a choice. Yeah. It's not that he tried his hardest and they were dying. He didn't try.
Yeah.
It was just the wrong depression for the wrong person.
It was
That's the problem. It was
like
a
conceptually,
wrong-
it could have worked.
yeah, for a different type of character. But the type of character that Kaladin Stormblessed is doesn't go back. You wouldn't go back.
But
You wouldn't
no.
go
So
back.
hold on, no. He knows that he even says it. He knows it at the end of Oathbreaker. He just won't fucking admit it. He knows people can't be saved. He knows that he has to speak the fourth ideal at the end of freaking Oathbringer, and he just doesn't. And he cries, and Dalinar saves them. And so it's not that he doesn't know it; he just can't accept it, and then he just goes into a shell for the whole book, and then finally decides that, oh, I've lost enough people again that I can't save everybody.
My meter is
Like,
full
oh,
again.
I let Tef die. Shit. Well, I guess I can't save everybody.
I just hope that it's not. I just hope that he's not going down the path of these things like depression, that it's not curable, and that you always live with it, and all these sorts of that's not true for everybody, and for most people, to be frank. And like, I think that's where I feel like maybe he's not getting the best. Maybe he's got like a specific sort of advice.
You know what would have fixed it? What would have fixed it is if when the tower gets attacked, he tries to fight back, and it ends up getting more people killed.
Yeah, there you go. Or something or he just no matter what he does.
But the fact that he didn't even try, that's the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah, it shouldn't have just been him sitting back and not. It should have
Then
been
you
him
can
trying and failing.
Then you can go through the same exact arc. You can have him lose Teft, right? And it could be his fault, right? Because that would naturally lead to him locking up if he tried to intervene more and it kept getting more people hurt, and then realizing, hey, I need to accept that even if I am doing the right thing, sometimes there will still be people that die.
Or it could just be
and you can literally do the same thing. It was the only problem is that he freezes up in the wrong moment.
Yeah, and one of the elements of Shell Shock that made Shell Shock so terrible and so much different was that it was people being exposed to artillery fire. There was nothing that anybody could do about it. All you could do was sit in the trench and wait to die as the artillery.
It was a very new experience in warfare.
Yeah, and there was an element of helplessness.
That's why they called it Shell Shock.
Yeah, and so there was that element to it that you just didn't really have when you're doing this kind of fighting, and there is the aspect of this that is just to me the most frustrating is, and this is a societal issue, is when you look at the psychology field right now. 90% of people in psychology right now under the age of 30 are women. And 90% of people in the psychology fields in America under the age of, I think it's 40, are leftists. So if you are getting your sort of understanding of,
Kaladin would not be a leftist. That's my problem with it, right?
Well, yeah, yes, but it's even stranger than that, is because so much of our psychology fields are women. Our entire psychological treatment is built around women. So when you have a male patient, they don't treat men and women differently. They treat men as defective women. So they try and treat somebody like Kaladin as they would a woman. Yeah. And what you're seeing in this book is Kaladin is displaying women's depression symptoms. And in many ways, this is, if we had a healthy psychological system and Sanderson was getting the correct information from his psychology team rather than Tumblr tier bullshit,
he's getting TikTok therapy.
Yes, and that's why Kaladin in this book
has only led to more diagnoses in ever record recorded.
Let Alex finish though. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. No, I mean, and that's basically what it is that this part of the reason that this book is so bad is because Sanderson's team around him is, rather than people who've been through this shit and lived through it and get it, it's academics at fucking BYU where that's who he has around him and who he's getting the advice from, and it's it's a reflection of society rather than necessarily Sanderson's fault per se.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
There's a 3-hour long video breaking this entire thing down that somebody needs to
Well,
make.
I think the big thing is what Alden already said is I feel like this has been done already and we're just treading old ground, and it just takes 75% of the book for him to get over it again, and it's like we've already done this. Why are we doing it again? Like whether it's like fine, you know what? I get it. Like you're not just immediately cured from psychological stuff, but it's not fun to read. It's not interesting to read. It's now getting redundant, and I want my hero to act heroically, and it shouldn't take 75% of a book to get him to nut up. Personally, I mean, I don't know. Agree to disagree. That's fine.
No,
I still love Kaladin. It's in the last 25% of the book. I don't know if it's 25% or not, but when he nuts up and starts freaking being Kaladin, it's great.
True.
But it just takes it. Well, I mean, I liked it. I mean, when he finally speaks the fourth and starts, doing stuff.
I love the ending of
20 pages left in the book at that point.
Well, yeah, I know that's the problem, right? No, that's so it's not 25%. It's the end, right? So yeah, so it's
I mean, it should have been Red Dawn in the tower, and it turned into Ask Abby.
Navani making scientific discoveries and giving it to the enemy while Kaladin hides.
Yeah.
So that dropped him from an S to an A, but let's agree, yeah. So
I wouldn't. We'll see where 5 goes. We may have to. I'll have to save this, and we'll see where 5 goes. So now we're at the. I'm not even going to talk in this one. I'll just put Shallan in front. I'll put her right there in the middle, and we can hear all sides of the Shallan battle here. So who wants to go for? I know chat has already firmly put her in Choldung. So I'll put her down there for now. I don't think she's Choldung, but
I think Vale's Choldung.
Vale and Radiant or Choldung. I hate Vale.
Radiant is a D.
They're all part.
If we were complaining about the psychology of Kaladin,
yep,
the psychology of Shallan is the epitome of, hey, I watched a TikTok where someone said they were bipolar, and now I think I'm bipolar.
Correct.
That is not true. Let's just be clear. That's not true. So let's be clear about that.
There are certainly elements
that is not true.
There are elements of her DID that are certainly TikTok-esque. I will agree with you to an extent that
you got a lot right.
They at least did the research that, to the extent that DID is considered by many to be a thing in the first place, it is traditionally identified and caused by childhood originated trauma. That is that is accurate. And if you are going to make the argument that the fantastical, extrapolated, romanticized elements of her DID is the result of this being a fantasy book and is not the result of it being right out of the DSM manual, I can sort of accept that, but then I have beef with Sanderson's entire thesis being, we're talking about, this, with this being his thesis, if that makes sense.
I actually have a... Now, correct me if I'm wrong. So, Shallan killed the cryptic and then Pattern came. Is that correct?
Yeah, she had
Yes.
bonded a different cryptic and then killed it by...
And then killed it. And then
killing her
why
mom.
I don't understand what makes her so like. I guess like this is like
Well,
why are all the
she has
cryptics
3
attracted to
cryptics
her?
because she had 3 personalities. So
And yes, Jan in the DSM-5 is complete horseshit.
Is
When I
that
say-
is
when
that
I say-
actually wait? But she didn't have 3 personalities
No,
when she was a kid. Like, is
I
that
was
really what we're
joking.
doing?
I have no
hope
idea.
not.
I tried to improvise an answer on the fly. I have no idea if that's what it is.
She killed her mom with the
original
shard
cryptic.
blade, and then panicked, and she basically, when she tried to get rid of the cryptic, sort of like what Kaladin did to Syl, they lost the connection and the cryptid died, is my recollection of these events.
Well, she must have broken an oath.
Yeah, she broke. She didn't lie. Like, I don't understand. Like she told the truth. Like, I don't understand how. Like, because
That's what I'm
cryptics
not
deal
sure.
in lies and truths. So what did she? I don't know. That's something.
I don't know how-
Hopefully, I don't understand. But
I don't know how it works for cryptics, whether it's different or whether it's not.
yeah, I don't understand why she is so special that cryptics are flocking to her.
I'll try and see what the internet says about it.
That could be dangerous. So.
Sando's depiction of DID with Shallan as it's going on, he's starting to get into and I know this for a fact, but people can say what they want about whether it's like TikTok-esque or whatever, and that may be true to a degree. I think that there's part of what he's done has started to stray into the area of embellishment in order for dramatic effect, you could say, almost, which you could probably forgive an author for doing. I would suggest. I'm trying to think of another interpretation of this that would come close to how well he's done it. I know this for a fact. Okay, like it's not that far wrong. There are parts of it that are over the top. There are parts of it that are not really in line with how someone with that affliction would act in certain circumstances. But those things but the way that Shallan does act absolutely rings true. I can tell you that. So I love what he did with this character. I've never seen a character that has portrayed a DID set of personalities as well as what Shallan has done in like a fiction in a fiction setting. I haven't seen it. So if it exists, I'm happy to read it, but I haven't seen it. And it's not just that; it's the way that he's developed it from like the start to where we are now. I think he's got lost in the weeds a little bit in book 4, and it got a little bit hectic. And
I think it started off okay in the first couple books.
Yeah, he's probably just got a little bit. It's just got a little bit amped up, but that's also true. Let's be really clear about this. That's also true to the nature of the affliction for an individual that experiences it. That is kind of how it rolls for them.
Well, but doesn't I feel like so like first I don't like Radiant and I don't like Veil. I don't mind Shallan. Now I don't like her other personalities. Now, on top of that, didn't she come into some weird epiphany where she just like she's just like fucking like Veil's into Kaladin, but Shallan's into freaking Adolin, and they all hug each other in the middle of Thalanor Fields and do a magic spell. It's like I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Like I thought the whole thing was supposed to be like her coming to terms with stuff and reconciling her past, and then those like Veil's gone by the end of Rhythm, right?
Yeah, hopefully,
yeah. So
I don't like him either. I'm not a fan of him either. And if her journey is her integrating her personality, I mean that's a big chunk. That's a big chunk of topic for Brandon to take on in a book. But like if that's what she's trying to do, fine. I would prefer not so much. I would have preferred it if he just kept a little bit less than what it is, than where he's gotten to with her.
But it's like Veil is supposed to be like a personality protecting her from her childhood trauma. So she created Radiant because she's a bad sword fighter? Like, I don't... Like, how do you reconcile Radiant because you created her because you want to be a good sword fighter? Like, I don't... You just get more confident and she just mega melds with you? Like, I don't know.
She just compartmentalizes information based on what she needs. at that given time for that given scenario. That's what she does.
I mean, I don't know. I would be fine with Shallan if she was just Shallan. Like I don't don't know. Personally,
I love Shallan. I love Shallan. Shallan is like as a female character that he's written, I love it. I really do. She's one of my favorite female characters that he's written, and I think he's good at writing girls. Unlike a lot of people that say he's not. I think he's a fantastic female protagonist writer. I think he's written many that are really, really good, and Shallan is at the top of that pile.
Vale was.
We understand that Vale is the idealized version of herself, but what created that split?
Well, so Vale is the childhood trauma, right? Is supposed to be her protecting her from her trauma and all that.
Vale is
That's why she's able to overcome that shit and re-emerge. But like every time she has a problem with something, she just creates something. So it's like I want to be super confident. So now instead of dealing with that, I'm going to create a personality that I knowingly have created to be super confident. And it's like, well, then that's still you.
Well, the argument that I couldn't...
I don't know.
My interpretation of Radiant, and I got to give Eldan credit here, it kind of sort of made me recontextualize this, is that she basically is almost limited in what she can remember in each personality. And so Radiant is basically, she's just taken everything she knows about sword fighting and basically being Adolin and just taken all of that and jumped it into that personality, and she really doesn't know anything else. The problem that I have with that, and I'm even willing to acknowledge that she kind of has the eidetic memory thing where she can kind of look at something and remember it, is even if I'm willing to accept that she has the eidetic memory and can look at that with pictures, the ability to actually physically sword fight and recall all of the information that
that requires muscle memory
and training, and it's not something you don't learn. I mean, you don't become a sword fighter by knowing all the sword moves like it's a video game. I mean,
you do in the Wheel of Time.
Well, but hold on. But so she loses all. Like that's just not like
you got to know all the names.
Sorry, that's like I don't know. Like so, she's really just insane then, because like she's
insane.
She just decided, oh, I can make a personality that believes she can fly, and then she can fly. Like she jumps off a building and she could, like, it's like, okay, she made Radiant so she doesn't feel fear. That's not reality.
And has all the combat memories. The issue that I take with that is having all of the combat memories does not make you a good swordsman necessarily. It helps, but it's not. It's not all of it, which is kind of why I have the same problem with Radiant that you do, Steve, just 2 questions further down the line. And that's another reason why I do not like the depiction of DID that Sanderson puts out here, is that I think, and Steve basically nailed this, is it does seem romanticized to me, especially the Radiant character. Like, if we're going to pretend that Vale
was created from trauma.
Yes.
Which is realistic.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's how people. That's how some of these things happen. They don't want to remember it, so they create another when they're young. They go crazy.
But Radiant becomes more problematic.
Radiant she created because she didn't like a part of herself, so she's like, I want to be confident. I'm going to create this persona, and then she cosplays the freaking swordsman, and she's okay with that. It's like, well, what? Like, it's like I want to be super intellectual, so now I'm going to wear glasses, and I'm going to be smart guy. We'll call him Bookworm, and it's like, that's not how I just don't feel like that's how it should work. Like, to
take it a step further, when you talk about DID, at least in my experience, the personality, the shift isn't as broad. I mean, it's generally just the same personality, but they just basically almost don't. They turn off parts of their brain. They don't acknowledge that events happened. You don't go from sort of the type A to the type B personality.
You don't turn into a Brit.
No, and that's what
Yeah.
I was talking about, Alex. You're right. That's exactly right. That's what I was saying when I was saying like he got too far into the weeds. That's what I'm referring to. Like as in like he went from he kind of went from like I'm just going to access different parts, turn off this room over here and amplify this room over here. That's how they build the different personalities. I have a daughter like this, and it has happened. It's been a challenge, and that is how it works. And he went way too far. Radiant was a big miss. I agree with that. If he had just left Radiant off the table, it probably would have not.
Right?
It would have been much more believable. Yeah.
Like, and I'm not. And yeah, I can see that. It's like not that I love, but I understand the function of Veil. Right? Like I don't happen to like her as Veil as much as Shallan, but I understand the function of that. I just don't understand. Like it's now you're using your psychosis as a tool to be better at things. So it's like I want to be more confident. I don't want to be afraid. I want to be a better sword fighter. So I'm going to make a soldier vision of myself, and then it's all going to work out. Like
Now,
right? Veil, I understand that. I don't.
It could be possible that the explanation is fantasy because he has done like magic, like identity is a thing that you can change with magic in his.
Well, there's a fourth identity now too, isn't there?
Yeah, formless. Formless is
there was a fourth one forming in book 4.
Formless is the freaking like depression one.
Formless
right?
was the OG. That was the one. That Formless was the one that I think that she developed originally.
But if you're talking like magical theory in his worlds, like identity is a big part of like that's how world hoppers that's how world hoppers survive. Like they'll go to a different planet and magically change their identity and their connection to a planet to trick themselves into thinking, to trick their soul into thinking that they were born on the planet they're visiting so that they can speak the language. So it's possible that the romanticized version of DID that we're seeing that we find problematic is maybe there's a magical explanation, but if there's not, it's dumb.
Well, I'll even go so far as to say if there is a magical explanation to it, then you've punted on dealing with the problems. If you if you just say, oh, in this universe we have a magical cure for DID that doesn't involve you working through it. Well,
he's not going to do that. 100% he won't do that.
I don't think that's what he's doing.
I don't disagree with you, but I mean, I've already seen him play super fast and loose with the DSM manual a bunch of times before. So, I guess this is my fundamental problem with Shallan is...
Again, I don't think that's his fault. I think that's people telling him things.
Yes, and I think that's 100%. And I think it's a result of the...
this is a very nerdy conversation. Yes, Salty.
Oh, it is. But I mean, I guess that's my biggest issue with this character is I think it fails the DID test, and I think it fails the entertainment test. Now,
I think it passes the DID test comparative to anything else that I've ever seen, that anyone that's ever attempted it in this respect. I think it passes it with flying colors, actually.
Well, I mean, you say that, but I mean, you're fully comfortable rejecting the
I think you got it wrong late. Yeah. I'm comfortable rejecting Radiant, but by the same token, I've seen Chelsea do that, right? I've seen her do that. I've seen her try and create something like that to give herself space for something that she did not want to, accept or believe. So I have seen her do that. So when I look at it and I go, that really sucks, but is it possible? Yeah, it kind of is possible. So if someone was like advising him that this is a way to go with this, I can see how that could happen, and he just got it like wrong on the execution.
Mm-hmm. Well, and my issue with a lot of that though is that it's working off of a very modern understanding of DID, which has significantly been manipulated by social media. Like we're seeing record numbers of DID, and like not all of it is, I wouldn't say not all of it is real, but not all of it is natural. Like it's becoming a worse problem because it's being romanticized, and that's not a situation that would exist in this setting,
Yeah, and I mean, when you look at DID numbers, I think DID basically, it started as bipolar disorder, but even bipolar disorder sort of didn't become sort of what we know it as today until it was sort of popularized by, I think it was a TV episode. And that isn't to say that it didn't exist before, because of all the things that I think that definitely existed before. I think sort of the traumatic, element where you shut off one memory of your brain so you can continue to process. I 100% believe that would absolutely be an element of something that exists. But as Tecmex said, the romanticism of it, and it's one of those things that I hate to say that I would only ever want to see an almost more brutalized version of something, like even worse than reality, in order to sort of stop the romanticism and the propagation of something. But I do sort of have an issue with what I am going to call the romanticism of something. But I also understand that this is, people are going to have different opinions on this topic, and it's very much going to inform how they appreciate and interpret the character.
She's just a rad character. Let's just take, even if you take out the split personalities. Let's just look at Shallan.
She does cool stuff.
She does heaps of cool stuff. She's a rad character. She goes to steal shit from like the most powerful woman in the world, as far as she knows. It's like her idol. When you think about what she was as a kid, reading her books and looking up to this woman, she goes to steal something from this woman for her family because it's in trouble and all this and all these sorts of things. She goes through these crazy experiences with this same woman, as you pointed out before, Alex, who has this like moral equivalence that's kind of whack. It doesn't line up with Shallan's understanding of the world at all. She's completely a fish out of water, come from like, her very privileged upbringing, so to speak. Well, you think it is at this stage. You find out later, not so much. She's killed her mum. She's killed her dad. She's broken her mind into a million different pieces.
She eats a bunch of toast.
She eats a bunch of toast. That's right. That fucking
fuck ton of toast, bro.
It's probably all the Rusty Jan's fault, to be honest. Fuck Hasbro. But and that's what I mean. And she still trucks on. She goes on a ship. She gets sank. She ends up in a. She does some awesome things to like generate the support of random people in the bush to get her to the Shattered Plains to meet this prince, so to speak, whatever that she's trying to get to marry, or whatever it is at that point.
Yes.
The girl has a backbone, mate. Like she's crazy.
I
she's
like
nuts,
base.
but God, she's got a spine.
I like base Shallan. I like base Shallan. I don't like the other stuff.
So my issue with sort of the taking these kind of one at a time, the Jasnah thing is, Jasnah even says this you understand you're my ward, right? Like if you need like 10 gold coins to get your family like out of debt or whatever, like here I dropped this in the couch cushion yesterday. You could have just asked. So that element is sort of I struggle with sometimes. And the other element that I struggle with is, fuck me, is she annoying. And like I caught this more in The Way of Kings, that I was like, the first time I read it, I was like, wow, she's really annoying. It's annoying how everybody just kind of pretends that she's funny and clever. And then I caught it on my second reread. I was like, oh, no, they don't think she's funny and clever. They're humoring her. They find her annoying. Especially like at the very beginning, the guys on the ship. And, she also got off on a bad foot with me with The Way of Kings, where she was the B plot, and the B plot quite literally never intersected with Kaladin's A plot. It was quite literally its own standalone story that was like lame.
Not as interesting as Kaladin.
Yeah, so you're reading the book and you're like, would you shut the fuck up and get back to
Kaladin?
You're trying to steal a bracelet, man.
I think everyone thinks that.
So to an extent, I find.
Yeah, it's much more interesting in book 2 when she sinking the ship and trying to get to the Shattered Plains alone. Yeah. That's where it picks up.
See, I almost disagree with that, because I was even more annoyed in book 2 because Kaladin is being a little bit annoying and not doing things, and I keep getting interrupted from Kaladin doing things to talk about Shallan, and I'm just kind of like, Brandon, would you get to the goddamn point with this already? And part of that is the length of these books. They're 1,000+ pages, and you're just kind of, there's the same problem that the Wheel of Time has with the fluff, but I don't think the highs are necessarily as high to make up for some of the fluff.
Yeah, I think that's where it's going to be like a personal taste type thing. Like I think with Shallan, you're either going to love her or hate her, because she's either going to be annoying, like her personality, her wit, the things that she says, where she interjects herself, like a lot of the characters in the books, as you pointed out, Alex, correctly. You're either going to hate it or you're going to love it, and like I do love it. So she's probably, I guess we have to sort of probably put it like in the middle. Somewhere.
I mean, I don't know. I like aspects of her, but like I'm not like I'm right down the middle, right? Because there are aspects that I don't think, like the humor part. I don't find any of her little quibs or any of that. I don't.
Yeah, I love that shit.
Okay,
No,
all right. So
but-
let's talk about one particular interaction. Her taking Kaladin's boots.
That was hilarious.
It wasn't. It was forced and lame and
Yeah.
serious Scrappy
That's
Doo
hilarious.
author's pet energy.
Yeah, I know. And Calvin should have punched her in the head. That would have been even better. But I still think it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, it's Daenerys Targaryen energy, where everybody else in that book, every time they make a mistake, ends up dead, and she just fucking wanders around sticking her dick in every beehive that she can find and never dies, and it's just that's sort of the energy that I get from Shallan at times.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So where are we gonna put her?
Well, it's up to you, man. She's S tier for me, but like I think she's F tier for everyone else. So
I'm not. Coming off,
I
I'm not
would put her
coming
in
off
F
my
tier
ass.
for me.
I wouldn't put her in F.
All right,
Oh,
guys, well,
man.
betwast your vote. What's the average going to be?
I
Yeah.
mean, I put her where I thought she should go. So like, I mean, between the S and you guys thinking she's F, I like parts of her, but like obviously her personality is I can't stand. So I think
you
it's
don't
right
think
in the
she's a
middle.
better character. You don't think she's a better character than Amarin, or you don't think she's a better character than Seth, or
No, because
yeah.
the thematic element is weaker, and I don't enjoy her as much.
Yeah.
So she's lower on both of those tiers for me. So I guess that's
You don't think she's a better character than Sadeas?
no.
Like honestly,
No,
watch
yeah.
the one.
Sadeas is better.
I think Sadeas does what he does extremely well.
See, I think Syl's a better character than I think Syl might be a better character than Shallan, based on.
Well, I think we have Syl rated way too high as well, but I was outvoted on that one.
But I'd put Shallan in S tier because I just love her. 'Cause
Look.
she's also a redhead. She gets an extra tip just for being a redhead.
Playing up Steve
Alex,
here.
when you're in your Trans Am, late at night in the red light district, and a woman leans into your window and says, "I can be anything you want me to be," they're lying. But still, wouldn't be.
She'd be telling the truth.
But you can't touch her.
That's true.
Not
I mean,
yet. Not yet. But that Ishar Blake's working on that shit.
I mean, this is basically a choose your own stripper analogy at this point. Like,
Every man's number one fantasy.
I mean, I feel like it just like there needs to be a Shallan category because like everybody's like has her in a different spot.
That's reasonable.
Right,
Gotta be
I mean,
untapped, actually.
I'm fine with Shallan as a C. I think that's a fair polling of the delegation.
All right, we'll leave her there for now, and then yeah. So there we go. We made it. I think. Is that everybody? Yeah, that's everybody. Yeah.
But
Woo! It's only been 3 hours, boys. Good lord. Well,
I'm gonna pick the boy.
so I'm gonna save this.
hey,
So-
that's a good point too, though. Shallan wouldn't be able to touch you either because of the trauma.
that one
I don't
is-
know. She She lets Dalinar touch it above the clothes, I think.
Wait, what?
Or not Dalinar, Adolin.
It's gonna be Dalinar.
Oh, that's another thing that was fucking cringe as hell about Shallan. All right, I'm not done yet. The Kaladin love triangle.
The one chapter,
That's not her fault.
the trauma bonding in the Shadow Plains.
At least they dealt with it, Alex. They dealt with it. But I'll prefer that. I hate that shit too. I would prefer if that wasn't there, but it was. But at least it's gone. At least it's
Yep.
Kaladin needs a woman, man. That's for sure.
He does.
Yeah, but he can't.
He's so
but they don't think-
depressed his dick doesn't work.
Well,
think
maybe
he's
he'll
fine.
get over that.
Maybe
in book
that's
5.
why he's depressed, Alex.
That would be a better explanation.
Yeah.
Was it there? No, there's no female that's attached to Kaladin at all, except
No,
for
there's been a couple.
They,
There was that-
mentioned her briefly, and they were like, "Why did you break up with her?"
Well, I'm talking about like
Wolf
currently.
lady.
Like there wasn't like a girl walking through Urithiru that's like, hey, or like a fucking Windrunner that's like, oh yeah.
There was the
So-
horse, the horse trainer lady. That's who he was banging. That one. It's gone.
Honestly, and I say this too much about Brandon Sanderson, but he has a weakness that a lot of women writers have, and Harry Potter may be the best example of this, in that their dudes like wait for true love. Like, J.K. Rowling may be the worst at this. Harry Potter was a good-looking, elite athlete, rich as fuck celebrity, and didn't get his dick wet until the fucking series ended. Like, I mean, Jesus Christ, Kaladin should be fucking wandering through and just, like, having to knock them off his wang as he goes to
True.
fly out to fight the...
It's true.
It's true.
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 Can't argue with the word of that.
Yeah, that's just true. You should be beating him away. Like, yeah, true and real. Especially since it seems like he has some experience from what we've heard of him. So, but he had a girlfriend back in the day. Back at Hearthstone, right?
God.
Hearthstone, is that where he's from? I always forget. But
I cannot
But yeah.
believe how fucking nice he was to her. Oh,
yeah, right. Yeah.
Just fucking annoyed me.
That's Sanderson's Mormon beliefs. That might be true. That's probably
We
true.
are prudish, yeah.
I actually like the fact that he doesn't like get into that stuff in his books. To be honest, because like imagine it'd be so.
He
bad.
he needs somebody at this point. It's 4 books in, and like the only one he's shown any interest in, at least during the series, is Shallan for a minute, and then that was it.
Well, no, that's not true. He had the childhood crush, which was teased.
Well,
again
I'm talking,
in
yeah.
book
Well, that's
3.
childhood. I'm talking about
He
like
was-
in story right now. I don't
He
think
was
there's a love
he
issue.
was dating the other bridge. One
Oh,
of the other
did he?
Windrunners.
Okay, I forgot
Yeah,
about
but
that.
they broke up.
They
They break
broke
up
up
in the
immediately.
beginning of book 4.
Yeah, $20, and I'm gonna be upset. But him and Leshwi are gonna do
Dude.
Parshendi human
Talk about a
crossover.
massive miss. Like if he would have made the Parshendi like a little bit more people like, you could have had a ship going on, but
You
Yeah.
could've.
100%. Eshonai would have been great. She would have been a great match for Kaladin, that Eshonai chick, but she's dead. And she's made of crab shit, so that doesn't help.
right. It's,
It's like Leshwi and him have a respect for each other, a level of respect for each other. So it's like, okay, are we gonna do the thing? So I hope not, but we'll see. But yeah, so we got to figure out what we're doing next for Stormlight stuff. We've been going for a long time, so I'll let you guys get out of here.
Probably.
But so we got to figure out what we're gonna do next, or what I'm gonna do next with stream, and I don't know what's on the table. So we gotta, I guess we could do another series characters, or I don't know. We'll have to discuss it. If you have any suggestions for next stream for Stormlight Archive or for Cosmere,
it's got to be a Cosmere book tier list, right?
yeah. Well, yeah. I guess that's a good way to go, right? That was what we were jumping between doing this and that and this one out. So I guess so that makes sense. Book tier list for next Stormlight stream. I think would be awesome. And you guys are of course all welcome back if you guys are around when we do it. It would be awesome. Hopefully we continue to build the audience and I feel like what's that?
It's Warbreaker.
It's
Warbreaker's
not,
what, the
but
worst?
you
Yeah,
can
I
have
got
that
you.
opinion. No,
No, no, that's not even true. I don't even
Rhythm
think
of
that.
War is the
Hey,
worst.
Warbreaker gets sexy, and you guys were just complaining that there wasn't any of that.
No, I don't have any. I actually like Warbreaker, but yeah. So I need to finish. So I should probably get through White Sand Part 3 and a few of the other ones again,
God,
the shorter
I'm
ones,
buying
just
those.
refresh my memory. So, like that's where some of this is gonna have to. And you and me, Aldan, we gotta do a Sunlit
We're
Man.
doing Sunlight Man.
Anybody that wants in on a Sunlit Man combo,
Sunlit Man
that
is
could be
so
fun, just
good.
because there's so much on the table from Sunlit Man. It's ridiculous. So
It's a Western. It's so good.
I loved it. It's by far the best of the secret novels. I should probably try and read Yumi again. I didn't. I couldn't do it. But yeah. So thank you everybody for being here. Yunan, thanks for being here the whole time. Salty, thank you for the super sticker. Who else was here most of the time? Go ahead, Alex, because I for some reason can't. Carbaratus. Carbaratus. I don't know why I can't say Carbaratus without somebody saying it first. Carbaratus. I am so sorry. Articus was here for most of the time too. Salty. Staplebow, I've seen you. Thank you for being here. Luther, thanks for popping in. And Mark Clark, I know you were here too. Anybody else that I missed, thank you very much. And there will be much more Cosmere stuff on the channel. Stay tuned. Go sub to technically Mexican. He's linked in the whatever down below, along with White Cloaks.
We're going to be talking Elric eventually. Whenever you, we're literally.
I don't. How far do you need me to get? Like I just finished. Like I got.
We can talk. You just finished the second book. We can do books.
So
1
I
and
just
2.
finished. He finished the ship. He just got off the ship. Like he got through the Crimson Door thing.
Does he have Stormbringer yet?
Yeah, he has Stormbringer. Yeah, he's already gone to work with Stormbringer. I just got to the point where, like it's like an epilogue, I think, of the White Wolf or something like that.
The Weird of the White Wolf?
Yeah.
You're where I am. I stopped because I wanted to save it.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah,
we're
so
we're
that's
doing-
like
we're
I'm
doing
at
books
that
1 and 2?
epilogue. Like it sounds like it's something completely different. So I wasn't sure if
it's
I
a
need
new
to read
book.
it or not.
You've read the first 3 books. We could talk about those.
Okay. Yeah, I need to back up and go through. Like I feel like the last one's a little fuzzy because there was stuff going on at work while I was listening to it. So I feel like I need a little bit. But
the last one was almost like 3 books put together too. So
the dream. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
The
It was
boat
sort of
stuff,
weird.
yeah.
Like you have the whole Kanak and whatever, the magician guys, Rarak and Rawrock or whatever, and
it's fun.
yeah, it was good stuff. It was good stuff. I don't believe for a minute he loves what's her name, but
His cousin.
Yeah, the one that he keeps saying he wants to go back to and then doesn't. He's like, I'm gonna go to the young kingdoms and chill for a while.
I just need to wander a little bit.
A little bit more. I love you. Is it Cyril? I always forget.
I didn't feel guilty at all about sleeping with that other woman.
Yeah, I banged the shit out of that dream thief, but that's okay. It was a friendly love affair. It didn't mean
Definitely
anything.
still faithful to that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're probably getting your ass beaten by fucking what's his face, but that's okay. I love you. I always forget his name. His cousin, the warden. What's his name? God, I haven't. The Coon, yeah. Iracoon, yeah. Iracoon's probably beating the shit out of her, but it's like, all right, I'm still wandering the world doing weird shit. But sorry, getting way off track. So yeah, so stay tuned. So yeah, we're gonna be talking to Elric soon too. Lots of stuff, lots of fun stuff. So sub to technically Mexican, sub to the White Cloaks, sub to Aldan too. He throws these fun songs out there every once in a while. Why not, man? Don't shake your head. We'll have some more Stormlight stuff soon, and yeah, thanks again. And we will see you soon. Let me find something to go out on. I need a new outro. Fuck it. Why not? We haven't done it in a while.
This stream is brought to you by... Have you ever been misunderstood? A puppy in a rage monster's body? Well, we here at Trollocs Lives Matter believe there is a human inside all of us. And...
They were effectively genetically engineered war tools.
TLM, because even...
Nightmare fuel.